We're only
Fine,
20 minutes
okay.
late, it's fine.
Then we shall do the thing.
The thing.
Welcome, my lovely dears, to another fantabulous session of Books in the North. Wherein last we left off, you guys successfully defeated the forces of Crossing. Forces at Crossing. And it was a pretty decent fight. None of your stacks died, although there was obviously loss on multiple sides. You had a decent number of reinforcements and rolled pretty well. Only some temporary threats were posed to you. You got to see Iron Gran, Iron Gran.
Iron Granny was the best.
So much
Right.
so that Tishan's gonna go smash that.
Yeah,
We get the half-elves back in the universe again.
God.
it's not happening. She's not having kids. She's not an idiot. She's too old. But
She's
an
aware
absolute-
she can handle it.
Well, yeah, unless Tishan happens to wear a silver cock ring, in which case he'll penetrate her DR just as easily as he penetrates Sliz.
Oh my goodness.
Or they just do it Salamander Town style.
It's true. I like the butt stuff as salamander style, now that I think about it.
I mean, it's been Salamander style for many years now.
That's true. But yeah, I was like, so how do they keep on top of, making sure their immortal race, sticks to generation by generation progression? Of course, butt stuff. And they've all got tails, so it's an equal butt stuff world.
Well, I mean, the real reason is because there's salamanders and Savins in this game. But,
I think at this point I've promised show butt stuff, so
I think we've all promised show butt stuff.
it's
Factually true.
Again, still, at some point, me and Show are gonna fucking Eiffel Tower Savin.
Woo!
Nice.
I think I'm the
Although
closest
she
one
called
of us
dibs
to
on the
show.
butt.
Huh?
Yeah, Show got dibs on his butt. Anyway, you defeat the forces of Crossing. And took a great number of prisoners of war because you were winning by such a large margin that they all lost their morale and surrendered. Of course, the plan now is to, quote unquote, give them back to Ashen Holds in exchange for peace. Something Lebensraum.
Give these back, you guys forget everything we did.
Yeah, and you have an open invitation to the city of Aquatic Elves, which, so far as your mother is concerned, was a barrier to acceptance as tieflings as a figure of government.
Which seems very strange to all of us, but I'm sure there's a reason for it.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's totally... Maybe she was wrong, and they're really cool about you guys.
Somehow I doubt that.
I'm sure this isn't a trap to kill Thyri. I'm sure everything's going to be fine.
Yeah, everything will be just fine.
Everything is deja vu.
Yeah.
Fucking
As
weebs
DCO
speak
would say.
American.
Weebsy elves.
Yes, I know.
Dragon dildos everywhere? Yeah, of course. I mean, over there, though, they call them dildos. Me just opening a fresh bottle of delicious beverage. Mo sent me a fresh crate of booze this morning.
Crate?
Sweet
A
Jesus.
whole crate?
It was a 20 bottle pack of Stella, 6 Hobgoblins, which is my favorite beer, and a couple whiskeys.
Holy
Hey,
shit, that's
look
a
at
lot
that.
of booze.
It's good. It'll last me like a week. Exciting.
Wow.
No,
Passionate, make it last two.
The beer won't last a week, but the whiskey should last me quite a while. I don't drink it too quickly. Be a waste. It's my favorite kind.
Glen 10?
Glenmorangie.
That's what I said.
There are 2 Glens that I like. The other one is Glenfiddich 12.
Okay.
Yeah, Glen isn't good enough when you're in the UK. There are too many Glens. It's the land of delicious Glens. But yeah, where we catch up with you guys is now at the head of, 2 weeks of waiting. How are you sending on your message to Ashen Hold about the return of their prisoners in exchange for an cease to hostilities? Because you have to actually organize, talking to them. And although your husband said he'll handle it, it's whether you want him to or not.
I mean, this is literally his field of expertise, being the Jarl, so...
I mean, it's his field of expertise in that he is a Jarl, but also he's never had to do this before because no one's taken, like, an entire invasion force as prisoners of war before. Although he'll do it because it's his job, he's not good at it because he was also one of those people who were born to be adventurers more than they were in charge.
Alright, well, if he wants to just cede control of this operation to Thyri,
I don't think he's going to give up entire control to his wife because he's still a manly man, but he would probably appreciate actually having assistance rather than just looking at some papers and being like, fuck it, I'm sure we can make sure this doesn't become war.
Alright, so what you're saying is man behind the throne theory. Gotcha.
Yeah, he could really just use a fucking right hand here.
Alright, how about we send one of their... just, like, let some dude loose, just cut him loose, tell him to tell his masters that we would like to meet them at Crossing, let's say. That's the closest thing to neutral ground we have, is right outside Crossing.
Mm-hmm.
Just come here in a day or two, whatever the time schedule works out to get there and back, and we will talk about releasing all these prisoners for a cessation of hostilities.
Sure, are you giving him a mount?
What season is it?
It is entering summer.
Did they bring any of their own mounts?
In fact, no, it's midsummer. Did they bring their own mounts? No, they were a foot force.
Alright, then he gets to walk. I will give him
because
food, though.
they did not have enough, mounts in the fucking cold north to move an army.
No. Then yeah, he gets to walk, but he will get food for the trip.
Sure, so who would like to make me an insight check on picking someone who isn't going to fucking just flake on you and run off to Yelm Golden?
I'd
How
love
about
to
the
make
one
an
who
inside
has-
check.
Yelm Garden, even. Yeah. Alright, awesome.
Yes, how about the character whose whole thing is insight checks?
Yeah, she's really fucking good at insight. Let's see here. Roll me 1d2. Alright, it is a male soldier. It looks like they were a member of the Elite Forces group. Probably on, like, mid-20s. You'd assume, so they aren't just going to be treated like the young buck, because, anyone can just fucking... There are Elite Forces members in there that are, like, 17, just because they were really good when they were 16.
Right,
Mhm.
makes sense.
Yeah, there's a guy in his mid-20s, so he's got at least some semblance of rank within their force, and he seems like he isn't going to just fucking peace out on you guys, and we'll speak to them. He recommends 3 days, and also says that they're probably not going to accept if it's still in the range of Crossing siege engines. So it would be a little bit further outside of Crossing, but
Yeah, like, I don't know.
a couple miles
Right
down
on.
the road.
Yeah, like right on this line here, maybe?
Sure, okay. And yeah, he'll go do that. So, who's writing a message for him to pass on? Because presumably him just saying they want to meet you there isn't going to do shit. He's going to need some documentation.
Probably Theory / the Jarl?
Okay. Describe to me close to your intentions or even the exact wording of this request, please.
Yeah, the intent of the message is, please come meet us at this location at this time. We would like to return the prisoners we took from your aggressive action in exchange for a permanent cessation of hostilities between us. Let us all be friends forevermore and just put this unpleasantness behind us.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to make a persuade test just to get the entirety of that summary along in writing. It's mostly just how is it going to be received on the other end,
Yeah.
and who knows, maybe you'll crit fail.
Hey, Viv.
Can we say we're assisting to get
Yeah,
you
hey,
advantage?
yeah, you got inspiration for this.
Thanks.
Party.
Alright, persuasion.
Sure, roll a d8 if you want to spend it. You don't need to.
D6.
You cleared.
I'll just
25.
take my
Oh, then make
30,
it 30.
thanks.
Sure. I don't fucking bother with you people. As I said, I mean, I was fishing for a crit failure to ruin this all for you, but it didn't happen.
32.
All right. Yep, it's pretty perfect.
I've got one more today, guys.
You provide like census details as well for the soldiers that are there, and assurances that they're all well cared for in the meantime, in the interim, and also the idea that their apprehensions are a little bit blown out of proportion. And yeah, he will take the message. He opts to not read it himself, just in case he gets salty on the way back that you described their act as the aggressive one when you committed the the thievery. He's like, I don't want to look at it. I really don't. And then he will leave.
Good boy.
He's smart enough to know that it might incite him somewhat. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to make the test visible as well. How does he take it?
Do you want a low number or a high number here?
You want a higher number, but you don't want it too high. If it's too high, then he'll, fucking siege you on some horse shit here and will come with additional terms of his own. But if it's super low, then he'll be like, it's an insult! So you're hoping for a nice healthy mid-ground, like sub 20, but post 10.
Hey.
Well,
Perfectly
it's
done.
about as good as it could have gotten for you. Literally sub 20 and as maximum to sub 10 to post 10 as possible. I shouldn't have given you numbers, otherwise I would have just rolled a fucking crit and been like, it's still war. But okay, it'll take a few days, so you'll be able to get started on your downtime. And any other preparations you'd like to make? What do you actually want to do?
I'm going to trade out Chaos Bolt for a Chromatic Orb.
Good move.
Oh yeah, switching out a spell, that's probably a thing I should do.
I'm
then
gonna
you-
learn
you
how to
have-
brew things as well. Pick up the tools for it.
Sure, there happens to be a specialist in Watchland if you'd like to go to them for your training. There's no one in Overland to teach you. Maybe someone in Makers, but you happen to know if the Elven bartender in Watchland is actually pretty well regarded, despite being an absolute horn dog. If I remember rightly, they're the female Futa Zap Brannigan of elves. With a cute salamander wife.
Sure. Was the specialist doesn't make it go any faster though, right?
No, it just means that they will actually be the person who's best to teach you. And maybe they'll give you one of their recipes for it if you're the one paying.
Yeah, sure. Let's go with it.
Sure. So Ella will happily teach you. Oh, no, her wife wasn't the salamander. Her wife was Sorceress, the
I thought she was a salamander.
Sorceress herself might have been actually. I can't remember.
She was some kind of dragony tiefling.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, I forgot I added Driders to the fucking Fey list at some point. Indeed, you can get them to be tarantulamorphic, where your carapace is an adorably fuzzy exoskeleton.
Ooh, Thunderstep is a warlock spell.
It is?
I want
Fucking A.
I want Thunderstep next. Replace Fireball. As useful as it was in that last fight, I'm gonna replace Fireball for Thunderstep.
Thunderstep!
I get bonus damage on it, guys.
You can actually bring people along with you when you Thunderstep.
Yeah, I know. I can't bring the T-Rex with me, though, unfortunately.
No, that would be amazing, though. It just fucking cracks and lands down amidst a swarm of people in a shock of lightning. I would just be like, alright, intimidate check. Alright, they fail. Okay, they break. They ain't fucking with the magically appearing lightning T-Rex.
Thunder T-Rex, but still.
Sorry, yes. God, seriously, sometimes your party just looks like the cover of a Dio album. I'm excited to run the heavy metal adventure for all of the drunks. Maybe Savin will have to get loaded for once.
You mean just not participate?
Yeah, same with me.
Yeah, no, I need to
Don't even
pick
have
out
alcohol. Just go buy some.
Same.
Shame, it would be like playing the game heavy metal.
Yeah, it would be cool, but alas.
Yeah, I wanted to make it a slightly more adult specialty of making sure everyone is thrashed because I wanted to introduce extra rules that involve drinking game rules.
I
Because that
should
shit's
take
fun.
Witch Bolt.
Witch Bolt is pretty dope. However, it's a concentration check. Don't forget to keep that in mind for all of your other fucking concentration things.
Yeah, God, I got so many concentration spells.
Yeah, there are a lot of spells I haven't taken on people like Crasher because I'm like, concentrating's hard. And although I get a bonus on it while I'm spell singing, like, that means I'm not shadow blading or I'm not a bunch of other shit.
So what would one of those
Does-
drinking rolls be, Scout? Like roll a nat 20, everyone at the table takes a shot?
I don't want to spoil it, but I'm gonna have a critical deck that you draw from. I don't think anyone has counterspell, no.
Well, that's a pretty tempting thing. Does any...
It's my favorite anti-fun spell.
Yeah, I
The
feel like...
equivalent of running up and slapping a ball out of a kid's hands.
I felt
really is.
semi-guilty the first time Savin tried to summon dinosaurs on us, and I went, no dinosaurs.
Yeah, that fucking ruined my fun every goddamn time. You and Marcus just destroy my fun. Every time. It's the worst. You should feel bad.
It's
Hey,
fine,
well,
because
no,
last
no,
time I
Savin.
could have helped destroy your fun. I got fucking pushed into the teleportation orb twice.
Owned.
Oh my god, when Hedra grew me, I was like, oh, he's not gonna let me pick the square I grow into.
Nope.
You know, at least in this way, Savin, you can take joy in knowing that you've given Scout and Kina both mimic PTSD.
Third told us off for being super paranoid in a fucking game.
Third
And
doesn't
do you know what?
understand.
Do you know what happened? We checked every single chest, and then after she had a long rant at us, we backtracked, and there was one chest we hadn't yet checked. And then I went ahead and opened it. It was a fucking mimic encounter. Yep. I was a little bit salty. I was like, guess who lost their bitching privileges, though? Fucking tart. Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
my God.
But prior to that, she was telling us off for like checking every single like corridor, hallway, and room for like, all right, so where are the walls going to attack us? It was fucking chests and oozes that came off the wall, which I refer to as wall mimics, and pissed her off.
Everything is a mimic now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly. The game Brutal,
Oh.
Brutal Legend is a fucking hilarious game.
It's a Mimictar.
Hmm
Look at that high damage I rolled. Darn.
Never gonna get it again.
No.
So yeah, plans for the crit deck itself is crits and also effectively playing with the rules of wild magic turned on for like any spell that's ever cast, but just the wild magic effect is draw from the deck.
Oh, that sounds real fun.
Yeah. It's gonna
Do
be a
you drink,
messy
Amxal?
evening.
No,
What a mimic
not at all.
Are you
Can't
going
exactly
to?
in my
Fake
house.
horse? Would that be like, would a mimictar be like a person sitting on top of a chest where their legs aren't real?
No, it's just a person sitting on a horse and they're like, I'm totally a centaur. You're like, no, it's still a horse there.
Or what about a fake horse that's actually looks like a horse, but it's actually a horrible monster? It's like those pictures you see of like a horse like grinning like a dog. It's like that. Have you seen those before? Those are
I have, yeah. When people
fucking
were like,
freaky.
artists have done a rendition where if horses had mouths like dogs, where it goes
Please
all the
don't
way
do
up.
that. That's awful. That's horrifying.
What about, the fucking, that just makes me think of the Reliquary Knight from Warhammer. And if anyone knows what that is, congratulations, because it's my favorite dumb thing. It is the corpse of a previous Grail Knight dressed up as though he's ready for battle, whilst a bunch of people lug his body around in a throne holding up a fake horse's head to be a pretend horse.
Weekend at Bernie's, the fight scene.
Yes, literally, it's a Weekend at Bernie's squadron of dudes, and I love it.
Royal pilgrims are weird.
There you go. Look at that shit. The best unit in the game.
They love it too. They love it.
They love that duty. They adore that duty, and it makes every soldier around them a better soldier.
The fuck?
The Grail Reliquary. That's a fucking mimic knight right there. Look, Bretonnians are weird.
That's why Savin and I are playing Kislevites.
Bretonnians are weird.
I wanted to play a Bretonnian, but it was just too perfect an opportunity to be an Ice Witch.
Yeah.
If I ever join that Warhammer Fantasy game, it'd be as a very happy Estalion.
And if I die, I'm becoming a French maid.
Nice.
Wow, that's incredible damage. Also, I believe you're missing half the numbers there.
Yeah, I only cast it at first level. This is what it would actually look like.
Jeez, I'm glad I used up those fucking high-ass 2 11s and a 12. The fuck is that shit?
And a 3. No, wait, no, that's a 5.
I am
That's
the
fine.
Senate.
I was just typing that into my fucking
Into the
box.
spell the card description. Yeah,
Oh, it didn't show up. Shit. Hold on.
you have to turn it on so that the description.
I
turns
know.
up in the spell
I
card.
put it on partial, and I was like, that'll work, right? No,
Yep.
it will not. Oh, that's lame.
Ah,
There we go.
yes.
Put asterisks on either side so it's in bold.
Oh yes, of course. If you put 3 asterisks, does it make it
Triple
bold
asterisks.
italics?
It is, yes. Triple asterisks is bold italic.
Okay, there we go. All right, now my spell is fixed.
Excellent. There you go. Now that we have that totally repaired. I am the Jarl.
Hold on.
Oh, that's even better.
Credit to Ghost Reaper there. Although you spelled Jarl with a Y. Which I believe in Nordic would be pronounced as Warl. Which is, I am the Warl! Would it be a V? Savin, you probably know, is the old Y a V or a W in pronunciation?
It's a V.
So it's I am the Varl is what you've written there, Reaper.
Ah yes, Dark Beast Varl.
Savin can keep his English major card for one more day.
Okay. So yeah, total endless sidetrack there. What are other people's downtime actions going to be? Because you'll get at least partway into it.
I'm gonna
How
practice
long
painting.
downtime do we have?
You get 2 actions, and before this conversation occurs, you're going to get 3 days into it.
Oh, we get 2 actions?
Yes, 2 weeks is 2 actions.
Perfect.
Assuming you don't fuck it up.
Thunderstep!
You want to change your spell for Thunderstep?
Oh,
Okay.
Fireball. As much as it was useful, I'm going to change that Fireball for Thunderstep.
Makes sense. It's now even harder for me to kill the squishies. They just get the fuck out whenever they want to.
I think. I think while let's see. While I am practicing to paint, I think. Let's see. I need. What am I gonna paint? What am I gonna paint? Am I gonna
Hi,
paint
Tasha.
people? Oh, I should.
Hi, Tasha.
Do portraits. Portraits of people.
Come on.
Yes, portraits of people. Do it, Anna.
Morph.
Make them Eldritchy with your magic.
Am I an idiot and never recorded anywhere what the what the gender of your children were?
mine?
Yeah, Eloise.
No, you did tell me. Caradwin is a female, and she's straight. and LOA is a hermaphrodite, and in your words, she don't care who she smash.
Pan, right.
How fitting in both
Yep.
instances.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we also did make that joke, because first it was Saradwin, and it was like, oh, so her mother's daughter, and then LOA turned out to be
Oh, her
turned out to be
mother's
that, and I was like,
daughter?
oh, okay then. And the
Yep.
thing is, these were both rolled too.
Yeah, they were entirely
Take
random,
degree.
but they were done in order. Did I even told you what the modifiers were before you rolled them, so you knew what you were rolling into?
No,
Did I not?
I don't think so. I think
No,
you just said,
whatever.
"Hey, straight roll."
That
Okay.
seems, yeah.
You told me what you didn't tell me what I was rolling for. You just told me what I was rolling.
Oh, okay. Whatever.
So the first week of my downtime, of my practice painting, it's not very good. It's like that. But the second week of painting,
Is a usual savant Anna. Good to know.
Pour some coffee.
Learning painting
now
now.
what
Huh?
am I going? What is this What is this practice painting going to turn into?
Should be a recreation of the battle, clearly.
The second week is just a mural after she's done all of her practice finger paints.
Ah, all messy. I have a thing to show people.
No, it's like that one GIF, like where the finger painting where the guy just like creates that crazy like landscape.
Yeah.
The most beautiful finger paints.
I might as well put on a show at the tavern one of these nights.
What kind of show?
Liar.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's gonna be sexy. No
Liar,
doubt about
liar,
it, but...
your vagina's on fire.
I mean, yes. Also electric.
I mean, you
These
should
days.
get that looked at if it's on fire. That's actually not good for
I
you.
mean, she's a tiefling, so...
Yeah, that doesn't make you immune to sexual disease.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, it's not unnormal for... That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Pretty epic finger painting right there. That's Anna by week 2. Admittedly with more tentacles.
She realized
The
at the second
fuck?
week, oh hey, I can use my tentacles for this.
Yeah, isn't that some fucking dope
It's
finger
like-
painting right there?
It's like having 20 extra fingers.
That's true, you're very tentacular.
All right, I have coffee.
Hooray! Okay then. With all that decided, yeah, 3 days of going to. Oh yeah, sorry. Yes, what were your decided downtime actions?
All right. Let me go over here. And where is our? There it is. Loot is always at the top. Strong aqua blood. Lightning furs. 5 lightning furs. How the lightning furs. Like how much is that?
In what context? You mean just like sheer weight or like coverage?
Yeah. Like, does 1 lightning fur equal like a fur coat?
I would say like 1 meets all of the fur requirements of an accessory, and 2 makes the fur requirements of a piece of clothing.
Okay. All right. So I am going to make Kalara a present. I am going to make her a magic fur cloak. And I would like to use
For who, sorry?
the Kalara. It's
Yep,
a present.
Yep.
I would like to use my last vial of strong cold blood and then the lightning furs.
Sure.
And I'm trying to make it because Kalara does love Kalara does love her revealing clothing, but it is going to get awful chilly this winter. So something to ward off the chill. Because she's resistant to heat, not cold.
Indeed.
Oh my, Thunderstep is only verbal.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's real nice unless you get trapped inside oozes. Grumble, grumble.
I
Yeah,
was
sure.
thinking I could make what's his name, Doctor Strange's robe of levitation, but then I was like, oh yeah, well, I already used all the flying ingredients for Thyri's cape.
Yep.
Oh well. Hey, at least when the inevitable day comes, she gets hit in the face by a goose. She, the impact might
Won't
kill her,
falter.
but at least her body will,
She doesn't move at the speeds of a jet plane.
I mean, you say that. She'll find a way.
Open
More
wide
speed.
and receive goose.
Well, I was more saying that she's eventually just gonna pump it up for more speed. She's got the need.
Yeah, and she's also got a need for seed.
Well, I
That
mean,
is very
that's
true.
what she and the Jarl are doing after the battle, but
I mean, you also not
Okay.
take into account that it's also like the Great Goostra, Great Beast.
Yeah, if you get hit by a goose and it happens to be Goostra, then maybe.
Like I've said, the Jarl is a very lucky man. At first, he just had attractive tiefling wife, and then attractive tiefling wife came back taller and borkier
Yeah.
because she felt like it.
No, she came back taller, and then he did have to actually,
Oh yeah,
fight
well
her
she
and
came.
walk her.
Yeah, she came
She
back.
came back taller and sharper, frankly.
Yeah. All right. Anyways,
Yep, alright. Let's
What
get an
is
alchemy
this?
and an arcana.
29 and 28.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, it'll take you time to do that, but for all intents and purposes, it would seem it's going to be a lovely cloak.
Yay!
Yeah, you can make the darkness bullet. Shoot people with it. Put darkness on them and the bullet wound.
Darkness crossbow bolt.
Mm-hmm. I believe the darkness bullet was your trick in Urban Arcana,
Yes, it was.
which is pretty cool.
Thyri could totally do that with a crossbow bolt.
that's true. Actually, I had never thought of that.
I just thought about it the other day for Urban Arcana, where I play a tiefling sniper. They
But
get darkness
would
in that
you?
game too.
But would you do it, considering that Theory hates the dark?
No, she's cast that spell all at once, and it was terrifying. So,
I mean,
Yeah.
it gets rid of the darkness immediately and puts it on someone else.
It's true. It is literally there for a blink. However, you do have to shoot at someone blind because you are darknessed while you're firing the bolt. In the case of the gun, it wasn't too bad. You had to load it blind, but then it was inside a gun's chamber. And then, like, pouring out of the front of the gun barrel was like your laser dot sight, but made of darkness.
Could someone please roll me a 1d5?
Sure.
Okay.
I have no idea what this means. I'm terrified and excited for the eventual reveal.
Who gets the weird dream this time?
So, Jeanette,
No! Hi. I already got a dream, actually.
over the course of the downtime, at the end of like that, near the end of the 2 weeks, Anna comes running up. She looks very excited.
Ah! Ooh!
Jeanette.
Hi,
say
Anna! Ooh!
Hi.
Ooh! Hi!
I
Eat
made
gnomes.
something.
Did you find... Oh, you made something. Never mind.
I made something for you.
Cool.
Mhm.
Show it to me.
Okay. Anna's like she's kind of like filthy looking. She's got like, because she's her hands and arms are just and clothes is just covered in like all these little colors and paints and dried paint.
Hey, you look like
Yeah.
me after a week in the tower.
Yeah.
Except
Ooh.
I generally am covered in poisons and stuff like that. It's okay. I'm largely immune.
Oh, that's good. Oh, I can just spoil the surprise. Anyway, come with me. She'll grab your hand. Come on.
Jeanette, grab my boob. Adventure!
And she'll drag you off to her quote workshop. And it's just as messy as Anna is, and it's just like painting, like just ruined paintings and paint and water and just stuff everywhere. But in the center of it, there's a canvas, and looks like Anna finally actually finished something for the first time as a painter.
Neat.
And on the canvas is a landscape scene of well, you recognize it immediately. It is of Tower.
Yeah.
Standing on its. Wait, is it in a crater or is it on a hill? I can't remember.
Crater.
Sitting in the middle of this expansive crater is the tower, and it's rising high. There's like it looks. It's from the point of view of somebody looking up at it, and there's just like this mist roiling around on its base. But as you're looking up at it through the clouds behind it, you can see like the sun rays coming down and just framing the whole tower.
Neat.
I made this for you. I didn't get to go. I only got to go inside once, but I really wanted to see it again. So I made this for you.
This is my favorite thing of all time.
I'm really glad you like it.
Yes, good. This is going.
Always remember the tower.
Yes.
You always look at it when you wanted to go see it, but you can't because we're busy.
Yes, good. I should show Kalara.
Yes.
I don't know where she is. She's probably with Mom and LOA.
Yeah, when you go to find her, she's just like halfways laid out on the table and staring at a booklet of something. There is a child like idly bouncing in her lap.
How big is LOA now? Because you said that she'd fully mature within 6 months.
I mean, do the maths, I guess. She looks like a small child. She looks like a super infant. It's been a couple weeks. What, 3? 3 weeks? Maybe 2 weeks or something?
Yeah. Stray, do the math. Good joke.
Ugh. Looks like a babu. I don't know. I don't know what to expect. I don't know either. Can't remember how old children get and how quickly.
Okay. Hey, Kalara, look what Anna drew, painted with her fingies. I will show it to her.
She will look remarkably impressed that it was a finger painting. Oh, it is very impressive. A good job, Tara.
Yes. I'm going to save this in one of my tubes. I will produce a tube and put it in the tube.
Of course. Where do you even intend to put those tubes one day?
Well, some of them you said we couldn't hang in the house.
That's correct, yes.
And I don't think I'd find it again if I put it in tower. He likes to move art around.
Yes.
One time I put up a really good art, and then he's been playing hide and seek with that art with me for 5 years. I missed that art.
What kind of things does Tower like? I want to make something for Tower. This one's for you, but I want to make something for Tower too.
What kind of roll would that be?
Fucking just a random ass D20, I think. As if I could evaluate a real roll for that.
As if there's a thing.
Wow, I was wondering if it was like a date of fate or
Mm.
something.
Nope. Let's give her a D20. What you are aware of is that Tower has an endless hunger for consuming Anna, which is not probably a good thing for her at all.
I'm just going to like start talking and then like clap a hand over my mouth. I don't think I should say.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Anna.
I'll just have to guess. I made
Okay.
a surprise.
Roll me a D20, Anna.
It'll be a surprise.
Awesome. One
Fucking of course.
second. Give me a moment.
Was it a 20? It was a 20.
Of course, it's a 20. Ah.
There you go.
Okay. I'll make that my next project.
Fun times.
Oh, once it's good enough.
Yep, Wiggles will give you a warning scooch on the nooch.
I'll make a painting for you too, Wiggles.
Squeak.
Oh, Wiggles.
Wiggles seems
I had
pleased.
Wiggles, I had this dream once. It was really neat. It was all you.
They will squeak at you inquisitively.
Yeah, it was really nice. You were like really big. You were like as tall as well, not that tall. You were like as tall as Viv or Jeanette, and you were like, oh, you were so pretty, and you had tentacles for hair, and you had this really nice dress. It was really pretty, and you were really pretty, and you were so popular. Everyone loved you so much.
Wiggles will give like a knowing squeak and a sagely nod that to anyone else just looks like squeak followed by some wiggling.
I have so many things to paint. I'm gonna paint that for sure. Oh, maybe I should make a carving too. Oh, there's so many things I want to do.
It turns out the next time Anna paints something utilizing Eldritch Force, it creates a painting, and then suddenly you have to go in there to rekindle the flame.
Oh man, I would play that adventure.
Adventure inside Anna's broken painting of mystery and Eldritch nightmares.
Maybe that's the next like little short.
I
shot
was
should run.
literally going to suggest for her to draw him cheese, but then I thought better of it. Amazing.
She should totally draw cheeses. Tower's fond of the cheese room and the shake drawer and the snake drawer.
All right then, shall we go?
So
ahead
yes, let's anti-faff now and continue with the plot. 3 days will
Anti-faff?
pass. Yeah, 3 days will pass. There will be a gathering expected at the edge of crossing, a few miles away from the range of its siege engines. Who is going to this meeting?
I should not be allowed to go to this meeting. You should throw my wife at me.
I suppose I should go since I can generally tell if people are lying or not.
Yes.
See if their intentions are actually true.
I would at the least like Cynthia and Viv to come with me and Bully.
Because this is a meeting with the other Jarl to discuss terms, right?
Yes.
Not a
Well,
Jarl.
not a Jarl, but
Well, no, not the
Thane.
guy in charge. Yeah, the Thane.
Oh, can I come?
I just want to point out the eye gouging incident. Don't let me come. Take Saoirse with you instead.
Yeah, seriously, you can come along. You can normally behave yourself.
Yay!
Would the Jarl's niece like to come along, get her first taste of diplomacy?
Let's see here. I mean, it's not technically her first taste of diplomacy. Like, she's done a lot of the day-to-day work, as it were. But maybe. Let's see here. Roll me a d8.
Sure.
She'll want to come along. No, it's probably for the best that she doesn't, just in case things go horribly, horribly wrong. It wouldn't do to leave this place
It's true.
without a leader in charge.
Right.
As much as Ariane would like to go, it's not a good move.
That's true. That's true. All right. I will leave Astra here with her then.
Yep.
Let's see. Does anybody else need/want to come? Not Jeanette, not Anna. Sorry, Anna.
Going on?
We're going to the the meeting with the diplomats.
I'll go.
Yes, you are going, and Cynthia and the Jarl in theory.
You should take Hellhound with you just in case.
No, he's big and scary, and we don't want to.
Yeah, Sisha's coming along, and she's about as useful as Helltown.
Yeah, I will maybe bring Titian along.
Should I leave Sunset here?
Yes.
Titian has been spending the last day or so at least in Watchland.
Oh god,
She's-
damn
You
it,
can go and
Titian.
collect him.
She's both Kinathis. She's a Hellhound. What happens when a thief and a bork boink?
Yep.
Yep.
Tieflings are technically salamanders, hellhounds, ogres, behemoths, rakshasas, shifters, succubi, and sweetlings.
Essentially, I'm a subrace of tiefling.
Hmm.
Wait, succubi are tieflings?
Sort of. They're more like just pure blood demons. They tend to have like a little bit of the waters are muddy. Do you know how like tieflings are technically, humanoids if they had their blood muddied by the infernal legacy?
Mm-hmm.
Succubus are like if the infernal legacy was muddied by a little bit of human.
Wouldn't that be what the brood mothers were then?
No, they're just pure tiefling. Like they are a tiefling.
You know, never mind. I don't want to know. Anyway, yeah, I think we're good to go. Just bring some of the Jarl's like wolf pack along with us for security, and Thyri will have her her instant fortress in her pocket just in case.
Mm-hmm.
Like I
They
want
are,
to see
they are
this.
aware that if you throw it out, that they will have to duck and cover. They'll have advantage on their saves versus the massive bludgeoning damage of a fortress appearing in their faces.
I mean, I'm less concerned about that and more like, yeah, if you try to fuck with me, I'm gonna bring out an army of adamant golems and also have a fortress I can go hide in.
Yeah, I mean, it will also though crush everyone near you when you place it.
Yes. So really, it's just an instant win button. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I will
Okay.
keep that in my pocket.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
How much damage does this fortress do?
It's a lot. It's like 10d10 or something.
Let me double check.
Also,
Is
this
indeed
is like
written
the first time the Jarl's ever going to be riding in my carriage, too. Yay.
Huh, so it is.
So who's going down there altogether? They're from just party members?
Everybody but you and Jeanette, basically.
No, I did too crazy.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is 10d10 bludgeoning damage. If you're in the area where the fortress appears. It's hard to avoid because it's, 60 foot by 90 foot. Well, 60 foot in the square, sorry. 90 foot is this height. Yeah, it could really
And then
suck.
it starts shooting laser beams 4 times around in every direction.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it's a good panic button.
Mm-hmm.
God, part of me wants to see what happens if you just try and use it while you're inside a dungeon and just fucking destroy everything.
Except the tower.
I mean, it would probably do damage to the fortress, but adamant itself is a object destroying material, so
Yep.
it's resistant to its own damage against itself.
Oh man, I could use the tower to blow open doors. Just
Technically, yes.
Please don't.
that's so stupid. All right, I love D&D sometimes.
Yeah.
All
I mean,
right,
it's 60 foot broad, so there's a very huge chance that it'll do some pretty devastating damage to everything, not just the door.
all right. It's a building demolisher.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Let's go. Let's go.
Okay. So when you arrive, you can find the meeting place is populated by a like a pavilion tent. Gazebo has been put up effectively. There's probably like a squad of 10 armed individuals. They're just like tending idly to a fire and observing the roads, which you gradually find yourselves coming down. And you can see they're all getting themselves prepared and ready just in case.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, yeah, the Thane is stood there and he observes as your party comes up and you park your carriage. I take it that you're going to park the carriage further than the 60 feet necessary to fire off the fortress.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you know, he would kill your horses and blow your carriage to pieces.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I'll park the carriage a little ways away and then
It's
stride
+2.
up.
Ooh. Let's see here. The Thane of Ashen Holds.
Now this is the same thing we cured the speaking disability on, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Back then, he didn't know that you were a filthy tiefling, and he didn't, you know, you hadn't really incurred any major wraths, although you had acted independently of yourselves and blew up the entrance to a building hidden in the land of his, which, you know, now you realize that he was hiding these kinds of secrets might have been doubly so relevant to him.
Yes. And doubly glad we blew up the entrance.
Yeah, the Thane stands there. He's, you know, in what you can see is very neat ebon armor lined with furs.
Thyri will be dressed in her full, like, Yarlessa regalia with her little tiara and jewelry and her staff at hand, and will follow behind Bully.
Yep. And he himself is dressed likewise more like a warrior than anything. His armor is... I wouldn't even say it's polished. It's like far too scratched and battle damaged. Like it would only shine in places if he bothered. So instead it looks like battle that has seen a lot of combat and war. He's opted for a very, very, very large axe that is strapped across his back. Although you've seen him hide like a number of knives on his person just in case. Just how he do.
Yep, that's fair.
The good old tailhole knife.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, gross.
So how
Yeah, he's got
angry
butt
or
dagger.
how kind of emotive is the Thane looking so far?
Make an insight check. It is a disadvantage. He actually has like advantages for these kinds of stately situations.
Yes, let's
Perfect. Well, then
turn on the
it'll
butt
be-
mad dar.
It'll be normal then because I normally have advantage thanks to being a Hagen follower.
Yep, go for it.
Not too great.
He is surprisingly impossible for you to read. This guy is the pokerest of poker faces, and he's staring levelly at your group. It would be impossible not to imagine that he's succinctly pissed with the lot of you. But he's not showing it on his face. Jarl Bulgriff will arrive, and both of them will meet eyes. It's more of a staring contest than a greeting. But eventually the both of them snort and then their stances relax somewhat when neither one of them goes for a weapon.
Thyri will disarm the situation as best she can by like pushing ahead of the Jarl somewhat and giving a little like perfunctory bow and saying, "Good day, Sir Thane."
If anything, in this case, his lip curls a little bit with disgust.
Of course it does. Thyri will smile.
Your
Not like
lesser,
smugly, but just like,
your Bulgruff. Your wife and her companions stole from us. They stole from us individuals most important. And when these individuals tried to be gathered from crossing, they were met by forces of your own. And those not slaughtered to a man were captured. I have received statements that you intend to release them in order to end these hostilities. Do you confirm? At which point the Jarl will nod. You realize that this can't go on. But you'll be glad to hear that we will happily indulge in peace with you. Now that's a strange statement to receive. What do?
So, I don't know if I want to believe him straight off with that. Let's do an actual insight to see if that's a lie or not.
Okay.
So I have a special thing for this because of being an Inquisitive rogue called Ear for Deceit. When I make a Wisdom Insight check to sense if the creature's lying, I get to use either a total of 19 or if I roll better.
Okay.
well,
You're going to take that 19 then.
ooh.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that 19 since normally there's since I would still have disadvantage against him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that 19.
Dude is not giving you a single fucking thing to read him.
Wow.
Doesn't seem like a lie. But he definitely seems smug. If that is all, we will take back our people and leave you be. Now's your time to speak up.
Hmm. I mean, I don't really have all that much to say. I mean, he said, yeah, we'll just have peace, give people. I'm like, all right. I'm sure there's some sort of horrible pincer attack coming around here, or some bullshit like that, but the lack of incitableness is not going to help me there.
I mean, he seems genuine so far in that he hasn't told an outright lie that I can tell.
Yeah. The Jarl will frown for a moment. And what of the farms of Ashen Hold and the winter's food? The Thane will smile and spread his hands out aside. I have no idea what you're talking about. Now, our people, please.
Oh, see, we get all of our food from Ashen Hold, don't we?
In the winter, yes, and almost all of it during the rest of the months and year.
Is there anywhere else we could get a sustainable amount of food from? Like, say, an aquatic city that has bajillions of fish, or something like that?
Give me an intelligence test.
Okay, would that perhaps be history? Just raw dog
Yeah, I would say raw dog intelligence. I don't think your history knowledge extends to having been taught about economics and food.
That's true. Okay.
Do you have inspiration from someone?
I sure don't.
Yes.
Oh, yep, alright.
Yeah, you can give Bardic.
Actual inspiration or just bardic?
Bardic.
Okay, well now you have advantage.
Okay.
Alright, spend a D8.
It's a
D6.
D6.
D6 even.
Boom.
I'm only level 1.
Oh
Okay.
wait, can we make it a 25? Why can't I click things? Yeah, here we go. We can!
Why
Fuck
am
you,
I never
Scout!
surprised by you fucking people? Okay. So, the food hunting for like animals and stuff is semi-sustainable out in the wild, although you need more people to do that. Like the Jarl has never had people to do hunting as a source of food income because the Ashen Hold has always been next to him and always provided food.
Mm-hmm.
The lake does have fish, but they aren't considered to be sustainable for the simple fact there never seemed to be many fish in the lake. You realize now that it's entirely possible because that is an entire city's stable food source.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't like, just let lots of fish just fucking rove around in those lakes. Not only that, they're fed by underwater, like lava plumes and shit like that. So you would get a different breed to the ones expected from the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
There is, however, an ocean not too far away, but you would need to, prepare some kind of place that can fish for said fish.
Follow-up question.
Sure.
Salamander Island.
Yeah.
That was fairly ashy, if I recall. Seemed,
Correct. It was mostly obsidian. They had very large animals, but no great beasts. The animals made up a lot of the food. They got the rest of it from trade with the freelands and from working the ocean's exterior. Very fish and vegetable heavy diet.
But could that island be irrigated heavily?
It's obsidian.
Well, I mean, there is obsidian there, yes, but it's also land.
But there is also a moderately ashen bit. It's nowhere near as the kind fed by a volcano. The ash looks more like an unnatural formation, just like the obsidian itself is the result of like dragon blasting and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like they aren't being fed by a volcano quite like the volcano is feeding the land around Ashen Holds.
Right. But
it's not impossible. But also you can't think it would nearly provide as much food. Like the entirety of that island is maybe as the size of the one farm that caters to these lands here.
Right, because that's basically what I want to know is I don't think Ashen Holds is going to stop producing food for the rest of the north, just us. So
No,
if
correct.
between say the Aquatic City and Salamander Island we could produce enough food on our own, then
possibly. It would be a challenge. The other answer is just taking over Ashen Hold and making their food your own, but
yeah, I mean obviously just kicking their asses further would be entirely reasonable, but
Which we could do,
probably.
possibly.
Again, I wouldn't feel bad about it, but I don't want that to be our first choice.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, there is an ocean over here, but there are initial costs to starting up some kind of fishing villages, like a lineup of them around in this area. There's an old destroyed city here that could be, I suppose, renovated into some kind of place to cater to an influx of foods. I mean, there is over the mountains. If somehow you found a way to make a trading passage through them, that would open up, admittedly, a different part of the story, and rather you didn't, but there is definitely food over there.
So, question for the mountain. Is this area also mountain, just not there, or...?
The mountain just sort of extends in a bit of a C cup shape, like that. It just doesn't appear on this side of the map.
Just want to make sure
that itself is still like snowy field. It's just that the mountain curves downwards from there. It's like this here is a jutting spike of them, but the shelf goes further south and around.
Right. Just want to make sure of that, because that area...
Yeah, that is not a clear way down into the Southlands. That's just more snow.
Right.
That'd be silly.
I would assume that the lake here would be a clear way to the Southlands.
I always thought that
trade.
lake was it looked really big, so I always assumed it was like one of the Great Lakes, the real life Great Lakes where
Either that or
winters.
this is just a
Yes, which
peninsula
people
here.
cross all the time.
It's a very large waterway.
It is landlocked quite heavily.
Yeah. The Great Lakes are all landlocked, but people use them for travel all the time.
The
Yeah.
more main question is there not mountains on the other side of it? Is what
There
you're
are
trying to
Yeah.
get
mountains
at.
on the other side of it, yes.
Okay. Okay.
But are
we're-
they passable mountains?
The Great
None of
Lakes
them
are known as
none of them are considered to be passable mountains. That's why that's an incredible endeavor to undertake, and it was part of
Okay,
like
so-
the late game stage plan of the Family of Blood to actually, produce an inlet into these central lands.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Alright.
any southern trade would have to be oceanic. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Oh
so
God.
failing that, as much as I want to run like Borks 2 Pirate Edition, or what you might call Borks 2 Deadfire.
Yeah, I mean, save that for actual books too, I suppose.
Oh my God. Is like the heir to every game just going to be like we're gonna have Starseed, then we're gonna have this one, then there's gonna be Sight and Sail.
Yeah, let
Never
me
get
just
off a
push
boat.
my Savin Pirate Edition under the rug here.
Look,
Totally
we
not
just
a
wanna
thing I was writing rules
just
for
wanna
or
be-
anything.
sea rolling pirates. Okay, it's gonna happen.
Anyway, but for the moment, I think it would be nice if we could just negotiate with this guy. So, Thyri will say out loud, as the Thane is like, "Oh yes, give us the people." He'll say, "Of course, we're going to give you your people back. That's not in question. But while we have you here, perhaps we could reconfirm this winter's food supplies with you. After all, with some damage done to crossing, it would be in everyone's best interest to make sure the routes and schedules were all taken care of."
All right. I would like you to make an intimidate check.
Intimidate, okay.
Because literally, you don't have a foot in this race unless it's to threaten him with, "We'll fucking kill you if you don't keep trading food with us."
I mean,
We
that
can and
wasn't
will
really.
just come and roll over you.
I mean, you can try a persuade, but I'm telling you right now that he will
I'll-
not do this trade with you anymore.
Okay, I'll roll intimidate. Sure, that's fine. May I have a bardic inspiration die, please?
yes.
Okay.
Does anybody else have
Ah.
an Never mind.
Never mind.
I'll take a 28.
Can you
Another
push it
success.
further?
This isn't even going to be a wisdom save, it's going to be an intelligence save. How fucked am I if I go against you?
Turbo fucked.
Alright. He's a smart man and realizes this is bad. You can't be sure that he's going to be giving you, good supplies like usual, but so far as you're aware, I mean, I'm going to sort of, scoop over this to get through it
Yeah.
relatively quickly. It's an hour of negotiation more than anything, but
Mhm.
he's not going to disrupt the amount that's traded for you. But you can suspect that he's going to be giving you, just shittier quality. You've definitely... if it
Sure.
weren't for the fact that it would be very inconvenient to try and spit in every box, they're going to be spitting in all your food.
Yeah, as long as he's just spitting and not poisoning, then whatever.
No, that's one of the points as well. If for some reason this grain were of such a poor quality that people started to get sick, even if it doesn't seem like they're to blame, that you would just instead stamp them out like bugs just to be sure.
Yeah.
Yada yada yada.
Yep.
So yeah, it's a tense hour. The Jarl basically is there in the position of making sure that the statements you make have his support, aka the support of the peoples and any allies gatherable.
Mm-hmm.
And the Thane insists that the others will hear of this, but at the same time, it's, there's not much that you can expect from other groups you intend to speak to in the future anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the negotiations go successfully, as not a single check made by yourselves was even sub 20, let alone anything lower than that. Not that I should be surprised. You guys are really good at this shit now.
Yeah, this is Theory's area of expertise, is talking to people.
It's nice when it comes up. You got to do that last night in South Wars. It was like, oh hey, my specialty.
Yeah, xenoarchaeology.
Yeah.
Let's see. I kind of want to wiggle in like a veiled threat, like, by the way, if you ever do something like the Broodmother thing again, you die. But that's so not theory.
I mean,
It
you
is
say it's
Viv,
not
though.
theory. It's Viv, and it's also the Jarl.
Well, I mean, Viv and the Jarl can both talk, so while theory's
Yeah.
discussing
Viv, would you like to
agriculture,
make the intimidation test?
Yes,
give
and
me
I'll
your-
use my inspiration for this.
All right, go for it.
will you also use your last bardic inspiration?
Well, I think this is a different day, isn't it?
This is all happening in the same day of conversation. You've used 2 bardics thus far. If you've got 1 left, then go for it.
Oh, I've got 4 total, but I'm
Oh,
not.
then you've got 2
Okay,
more.
so you got 2. So yeah, you should.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure I can't use this on myself, can
You
I?
can.
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
you can use
bardic
it on
inspiration works on you.
Oh, okay.
Just because
It's really
Heather
good.
chooses not to doesn't mean you can't.
Yeah, she never has any reason to psych herself up. I'm going to psych
Okay.
you, ouch.
We're going to pump you up.
Actually, that's to be fair true. Like, Thyri did make an alignment shift towards lawful good.
Mm-hmm.
It's entirely possible she would make that check, although you require a little bit of asking to scare them. But no, Viv in this case is happy to do so. And the Jarl is happy to give her advantage on this test, so it's a 25.
Oh, then I don't need my inspiration.
Yeah, sorry, I meant to say, like, it was going to be one of you making the test, but you're actually happy to do it, so yeah, Jarl will give you it. His intimidation test is a bit higher, but you got to throw Bardic and shit.
Well, I could have thrown Bardic on him, too.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, you rolled high and that's good.
Turns out this
Gotta
guy's a
be-
pussy and just gets intimidated into the ground.
Well, I mean, yeah, you need to smash him into this position because he's gotten away with being Switzerland and performing atrocities for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he actually.
But
has a
unlike
good
Switzerland,
hold
he's
for it.
not part of unlike Switzerland, he's not part of a natural series of impassable mountains to protect his neutrality. It was only the fact that he's where the food came from, and the other Jarls would fight him. Considering his dog in the race is trying to deny one of said Jarl's food, he actually can't use that as leverage. Because they'd be like, what do you mean you can just say that you aren't giving people food just because you're in a disagreement with them? That's not what we agreed on. Yeah, neutrality goes both ways.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
this
cow-
is
you cow him
exactly
into it.
Viv's, this is exactly Viv's motivation here.
Yeah, and can I get another insight from our insight pupper, please?
You sure
Insight
can.
popper.
Hopefully this time I don't roll a 2 or a 1.
You have
What
Bardic
do
this
your
time.
doggo eyes see?
There we go.
Wow,
Let's
there
go.
you go.
Let's go.
Okay.
Go.
You have reasons to believe he has not found a way to reinstitute a broodmare situation.
And now
Like
he
through the
never
course
will.
of these hours of conversation, you're pretty sure he hasn't managed to set up some kind of new sex dungeon, and nor will he risk doing so in the future. Because he doesn't know where your mother's agents are, or where your agents are, which is what he assumes they are. Your mother herself is actually still an enigmatic figure, and now most people believe you're in charge of that cult.
Honestly,
Hooray.
Theory's kind of fine with that.
He's under.
Because it's
operating
weird, there was
under
this person who looked a whole lot like Thyri in her old disguise going around and doing the acts of this cult. It's kind of strange.
How about that?
Yeah. Yeah, they think you're in charge. But Mummy
Okay.
would be so proud if you took over.
That's the renegade ending for Theory. It's just taking
Yeah,
over
is that you
Mother's
become,
cult.
we have Queen Astrid, and then the new leader of the Church of Blood / Internal Affairs becomes Thyri Kunna.
Jesus.
I'm
You'd make a great Gestapo.
God, no. Theory would
You
not.
literally,
Yeah,
look, you've got the
made it that way.
persuasion and the intimidation, you've got the magical power and the social and state
See,
leverage. You'd
like,
be amazing at it.
And you
Fury
made
wouldn't
a
be the
step towards
Gestapo
lawful
leader,
good.
she-
Das Polizia.
Hold on, no. She wouldn't be the Gestapo leader. She'd be like the Minister of the Interior kind of person.
Yeah. No, we are a leader of intelligence in Cold War.
Yeah.
And in the North, all war is cold.
Jesus.
KGB Kunas. Kuna GB.
Yes.
It's
All right.
what
Well,
the K stands
that's
for.
all I wanted to accomplish at this negotiation. So I'm
Yeah. You managed to make sure that he couldn't actually make it into a negotiation by passing your scare him test so hard that it was more like a cowing. I mean, it was already gonna be like a black veil cowing anyway, but you
This was
ensured
just
that was
instead
the case at the
of
end.
like having to talk to him on equal footing, we just put him over our knee and spanked him.
Yep.
And Viv got to do her creepy factor here for once.
Yeah.
I assume that's how she intimidates. She
Being
she
fucking
goes all
creepy.
yandere kind of thing.
Oh Jesus.
So this took place at the end of the 2 weeks.
No, this was only 3 days into that 2 weeks
Oh,
of
this was 3
downtime.
days into it. Okay.
Yeah, you guys all still have like actual shit to do. So everyone's getting all their training now, and yeah, the Jarl of Ashen, the Thane of Ashen Hold is successfully cowed into submission. And yeah, you have a bit over a week and a half to enjoy some time to yourselves before traveling to meet the Aquatic City. And if you'll excuse me for a moment, I need to fetch a fresh cold drink because my room is 30-something degrees right now.
The only people who stay behind
Towards
are
30
Jeanette.
degrees.
30 in real numbers, not American units.
30 degrees.
86
86.
degrees
It's like
Fahrenheit,
90.
yeah.
Yeah, 86. That is
Yeah, just-
really warm.
Just do it roughly like ×3 and
Like,
you'll have
well-
a good amount of it.
Okay, like, not really warm to me, but it's still above my comfortable temperature. Because, the factory I work in is regularly, and this is May, and it's regularly 37 degrees Celsius. So I've had to get used to crap temperature. But don't worry, by the end of the month, our new building is going to be up, and because I'm part of DTG, I get to be in one of the air-conditioned rooms in the factory. I found out the other day my job I just accidentally weaseled myself into because when they were like, "Hey, do you know anything about computers?" on my first day, and I was like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Have you ever worked with heavy machinery?" and I was like, "Yeah," and I totally never had. And it turns out I weaseled my way into one of the premium things, so I get $1 more an hour than everyone else in the factory.
Nice. Is there anything that
Supposedly
defines?
outside it's like 25 degrees. However, the humidity is 40-something.
Oh wow!
And there's
yeah,
no
that
wind.
sucks.
Ugh.
Yeah. Where I used to live, it was like originally where I come from is the coast, so it's always nice, right? But then when I was like around 10, we moved into the coast and we moved into rice field country. And oh my god, the humidity. I was so glad when I moved to Chico because I'm up in the foothills now. It's still hot, but at least it's dry.
Anyway, you were saying, Kina, what were you asking?
I was.
What? Was there anything you wanted to do with Jeanette and Astra?
No, just asking what actually stayed behind.
The party threw Kalara at Jeanette to make her stay.
Okay.
And then snuck off while she and Jeanette were boinking. Anna, I think, was just painting at the time and just doesn't have the wherewithal to actually know what's going on. Because I imagine in Anna's mind, there's only two things. She either doesn't understand it or she doesn't care.
But she cares so much about so many things. But all of her thoughts are so fleeting.
And Astra, I just don't think wanted to go see the racist boy.
What you mean is she wanted to go real bad, and her mom told her no. You are not allowed to come because you will try and kill him.
Cooler heads have to prevail.
Yes, that is also why Anna was not allowed to come.
The offer to torment him is still on the table.
And that's why Anna wasn't allowed to come.
You just have to ask, and Anna will do things.
All Jeanette would talk about when it came to him is how she's going to kill him.
Which is why we didn't bring you two along.
It's still going to happen, guys. It's fine.
As long as it doesn't come back on us, it's fine.
Don't worry. I have some secret things in the works.
As long as they don't come back on us, it's fine.
You don't worry. It has. It would be hard to even pin it on Jeanette.
That doesn't reassure me.
It's okay. This is actual Stray talking, not Jeanette crazy
Oh,
talk.
okay. Gotcha.
I had assumed so.
Yeah,
It does
no,
not reassure me.
I'm believe it or not, I'm actually rather good at these games. My dice aren't. But that's why that is entirely why I have factored that in. I don't have to roll anything. It's
shocking.
pretty great.
Straight, you can say that as much as you want. It still does not
I'm
reassure
literally
me. I
not
know.
sending squads of assassins after him or great beasts, alright?
I
Calm
get
down.
that. But no matter what you say, it's something that Jeanette has planned. Ergo, it does not reassure my worriness.
I mean, that's a fair point.
It's fine.
Jeanette's scary.
Everything is fine. Nah, she's a sweetheart.
And
Yeah,
apparently,
she's a sweetheart. She's
Thyri
also
and-
terrifying.
Yep. Well, that doesn't mean
I mean,
Thyri and
you can
Viv
be
aren't.
both.
Loves
Yeah,
her wife
Thyri is
and her
also very scary, and Viv is even scarier. But
loves her wife and her friends, and half the time she forgets that she's not actually related to Thyri.
I'm glad I'm not the scary one in this party. I don't scare anyone at all.
wait, Jeanette's
I like.
been thinking she's related to Thyri. What?
Remember when just out of turn, she told Saoirse to call you Anti-Theory.
Mhm.
Sometimes it just gets into her mind so much, and then she's like, "Oh right, she's a tiefling." But we're not actually. Never mind.
I mean, I could be Kalara's sister. How would Jeanette know?
That's actually what Jeanette thinks half the time is that you're related by marriage, and then it's like, "Oh right, they're not actually related." I've met her mom.
Related by marriage.
Viv and her are related by marriage. Yes.
Yes. We're cousins-in-law.
Yes.
Goodness me, it's warm. I just stood in my lounge for a while with my arms spread and my head pressed against a counter because it felt nice and cool.
Do you want me to buy you a fan?
I've got a fan on right now. You can't hear it because I don't know how you can't really. It's literally 3 foot.
I mean, like an
The
actual
loudest thing in the
cooling
world.
fan.
Nah, see, we need to get you one of those blower fans. Those things are great.
Need to get Scal like proper AC. Just everyone run a donations indie for fucking AC.
No, if there's a donation to
actually,
get all this body hair science laser blasted off of me.
it's actually not that expensive. If all of us pitched in like $75, we could actually get her a. They have small localized cooling fans. Cooling fans actually make the air colder, rather than just a fan.
I'd rather
They're
donate
like,
to-
you know those things you know those things you put in the window. They're like that except small.
Let's have a look here.
But weren't we going to do?
Jeez, no, I can't use. I still record stuff. I have a fan. I could turn it up even more, but you'd be able to constantly hear.
I thought we were
Too
going
nice for
to.
that.
I thought we were going to have a boobs and D drive in a couple months with your drop in drop out Shadowrun game or Shadowrun City thing. I thought
Were
that was
we?
something we talked about.
First I've heard of it.
Yeah,
It was discussed by
I swear to God
admittedly
it
by
was,
Drunks
yeah.
Go. I don't think you're imagining it, but at the same time, there was no finite put on it.
Okay, so I'm not imagining it. I'm not crazy.
You're not. No, you're not imagining it.
You could.
Yeah,
You could all. We could all. It worked out well last time, and the community's only grown since.
Yes.
that's true. I mean, shit. I'm just after a fucking like couple £100 laser box thing. I can do it myself. I don't care if it takes longer. Those things look dope. Who knows? Maybe I'll be able to do it in the aftermath of this whole fucking visual novel debacle. Because surprisingly, the sales have exceeded an absurd, like an actually absurd number. Even though we set the price as legally low as we could get it without Steam's permission.
Fucking Steam, man.
Yeah.
They used to be the good guys.
They did. That's so sad.
Well, Valve Corporation, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Valve
is
Corporation and
Steam.
specifically
They're the
their subsidiary Steam,
Whoa.
because Gaben has stopped paying attention and started rolling around naked in $100 bills.
So how much? Just out of curiosity, how many copies have you sold in the last like 2 days? Do you even like?
I
That is?
don't know since like yesterday noon, and I also probably shouldn't say. It's not
Okay.
my place. It's not. I don't own the company. It's not my place to say what our unit sales were.
Right.
Okay.
The
fair enough.
beacons have been lit. Game devs call for aid,
Dong more calls
And
to get
the-
laid.
and the internet will answer.
I'm just gonna assume it's a lot. Okay.
A new hand graces the
It's in the tens of thousands.
Holy shit.
Which is
Damn.
amazing as well, because that shows up on Steam's graphs as an asset loss, because tens of thousands of copies going for $1, what would have gone for about 20 something, shows up as an asset loss of a huge number.
I actually told all my weeb friends that I work with at work about it too. I'm pretty sure
Yep.
a couple of them picked it up as well.
Thank you very much. As I say, like, every bit helps. Like, we're making, admittedly as well, a huge asset loss, because this game's lifetime is its lifetime sales are dying by the day. But at the same time, it's an influx immediately now, which isn't the worst.
It's such a
And
shame
I'm-
that it's losing a lot of money like that.
Yeah,
It's a really, really good VN.
It's also just a strange situation. Like, it is an influx of money in this immediate instance, but it is killing itself in asset loss.
But on the same coin, it had to be done.
Yeah, it did.
So,
I wish the other
we're-
devs had fucking sucked it up and done the same as us, but they wussed out.
It's called a loss leader. That's literally what you call it in business. You lose a bit of money now, but hopefully you make it back later. That's why, like,
we weren't even
you know,
get to make
those-
it back. We thought we'd never get to go on Steam ever again. This was more like burn the bridge as hard as we possibly can and make a statement.
Well, okay,
burn
but
it
you can
all.
still use it as a loss leader. That way, when you, if you get to stay when you do your next game, everyone has already been introduced to your content before and is willing to shill out the extra bucks.
Mhm.
That's why, like bars and stuff like that will serve burgers as their loss leader because they barely make any money off of it. But if you eat a burger, you're going to stay there for cocktails and beer, and they make
Just
like
make shit
95%
tons.
profit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway, that's the reality of
So,
all of that.
Back-
How long,
back
are-
to the game.
how long is the other party going to be like gone on this
4
2 days?
Like a
2
day or
days
so?
either way?
just 2 days? So 4 days.
Yeah, maybe like 3.5 if you want to call it a real stretch.
Okay.
Well, Jeanette's going to be upset that she wasn't allowed to go. But then, because Kalara's there, she's going to calm down real quick.
If anything, Kalara will loan her version of the Speaky Stone to Saoirse so you can speak to your daughter.
Okay. Saoirse will pass along the things that she thinks is relevant, but hopefully she maintains her sanity long enough not to tell her mom anything super...
She
Yeah, I
knows-
think she'll tell her mom everything, yeah.
Yeah, she's smart enough not to like stoke the fire. She's like, she has to be crazy for like a third of the day, but in her own statement, she's a fairy and she's a dreamer. She could just choose to be crazy while she's asleep. It's fine.
Yeah. And oh yeah. Kalara is a member of the Church of Blood, correct?
Yes, you don't know how deep a member, but yeah, she is a very popular one.
Jeanette will I've actually thought about this. Jeanette will never actually really ask or care too much, so that'll have to be Saoirse so we could actually find out how deep Kalara is on it, because in Jeanette's eyes, Kalara can do no wrong, so she doesn't question it.
Or we just never find out. She could be like one of their deepest members and we never know.
Yeah, so in any event, she's going to pass along formulas to the Church of Blood. Specifically, she's going to pass along her own custom formulas for the Swift Set Drought, and the Tanglefoot Bag, and the Thunderstone. And how to make them.
Sure, sounds
As-
about right.
As a gesture of goodwill. Provided, of course, that Kalara hadn't already done that, because Kalara had access to her formulas the entire time.
She probably already did, but now that she's, received permission that it's okay, then she will come back to you with something that she received back in gesture. Roll me 1d20. Roll me 1d8. Roll me 1d100.
I can never get 69.
Okay, then. They are going to give you the ingredients or the chemical list for icebreaker acid.
Icebreaker acid, you say?
It is an acid that, when exposed to something that is very cold, like ice, it basically, quintuples its like acidity or its reactivity. Sorry. Otherwise, it works as a normal like thrown acid and uses your thrown acid damage. But if it is applied to ice, then its damage is multiplied by 5, and will generally destroy the ice that it is thrown onto.
Okay, so as acid flask, but times what damage against ice?
Times by 5 against ice.
Okay, as acid flask, but times 5 against ice is whatever.
That's pretty useful around here.
I'm gonna write it in for you.
I just put it on my I always have a Google Docs because I can't help but ape off of Savin. Hey, it's a really good idea.
So speaking of interesting potions and crafts and recipe and all that, do I learn any interesting recipes from my training with the bar lady in Watchland?
Yep, okay then. I'm going to put it in the end chemical goods section. As well, Icebreaker Ice is now in there. It's like right above Corpse Ivy. I should really have alphabetized that now that I think about it, but I'm too lazy. And yeah, okay. One moment. Ella's Emboldening Mead. It'll get you so shit hammered. The Queen of Fairies will fuck you.
Oh, so that's what Jeanette had.
Yeah, she drank Ella's Emboldening Mead, and then the night disappeared.
Wait, what? Hang on, you have to say that again. I've been typing.
Ella's Emboldening Mead. It'll get you so shit hammered the Queen of Fairies would fuck you.
Oh. Wait. I knew that her mom was a Fey Lord, but not. Oh.
That's just the statement on the tag. You don't know that was actually the case.
I was like,
there's no possible way. They probably don't even have a queen. I'm just saying. That's just.
Well,
the
I
tag
was about to say, did Titania literally fuck Jeanette?
We don't know.
Who knows? But if you ever want to try and repeat it, I now know the recipe for it.
I mean, if I can actually remember what I drank, otherwise I'm just gonna think I got regular drunk. Hey, Savin.
Yeah?
I'm not sure if you're reading the chat, but I wanted to red Oni, blue Oni, because they're already color-coded for our convenience. Would you say that yours is more, your daughter, I can't, Caradwin?
Caradwin
is more, like, level-headed or more hot-headed? Because unlike Saoirse, luckily she, LOA got away with not being insane, but I might make her the angry one if yours is the calm one.
Yeah, that makes sense, since you were thinking about a barbarian, right?
Well, if she's the angry one, she's going to be a Storm Herald. If she's a calm one, she's going to be a Green Knight.
Whichever you are more interested in playing, I guess, because I'm not playing the other dragon chick in Borks 2, so...
Okay. I think I'd like to finally be like a heavy hitter in a game with...
that makes sense.
You know, I've tried to do it before, but then we've really been hampered when we didn't have at least one person that did like the Ultra Nerd.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't actually realize that I tend to play Ultra Nerds until Merzendi pointed it out to me.
Here are my notes. The build for LOA is Standard Array +1 Strength and Con. The build for Caradwen was Standard Array +2 Int Charisma Wisdom.
Okay.
And I believe that you said that she would grow up to become a Dragon Blood Sorcerer, Savin.
Makes sense.
Okay. Well, I'm going to do Storm Herald then.
You know, 1 second. I'm gonna...
Probably see resistance to lightning and breathe underwater. But like, you know, her mom did her other the Drake, did fire, but that mean that I'd have to take the Desert Storm Soul, which doesn't make sense. We're in the cold north, so it's either Tundra or Sea.
I think C would be the cool one.
Yeah. Gain resistance to lightning damage, breathe underwater, get a good swimming speed,
Yeah.
and can lightning people when they get too close. It's pretty great. Wait, what sign was she born under again? I didn't have that written down. I'm sorry.
Ham.
Yeah, you're both Tannies.
Okay.
But also in Borks 2, the star signs aren't going to be as powerful as they were. As in, like, they don't have those advantage mechanics built into them.
No, that's totally fine. I just wanted to have it written down.
Yep.
Because my character sheet has a bunch of stuff for Jeanette and also some stuff for Saoirse, and I'm writing stuff for LOA, and I forgot to write that down.
Don't you worry, Savin. Everything is fine with your daughter.
Why is my daughter sleeping with Anna?
She wasn't.
Squint.
Innocent.
Wait, what?
Just thought I'd put a teaser in
Probably
there.
fine.
Yeah, everything is okay. Everything kakadori. But yeah, Ella's Emboldening Mead and Ella's Smash Beer are recipes that you know how to make.
Neat.
Alrighty.
Yeah, Ella's Emboldening Bead is a popular one and is known the continent over and appears in a number of places.
Oh, hey, this totally works too. Storm Heralds are typically elite champions who train alongside Druid, Rangers, and other Sworn. Guess what? Sworn to protect nature. Guess what her older sister is?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the only challenge she's going to face in life is people constantly mistaking her for a tiefling.
Yep. So you get to hiss them and blow fire at them.
Oh my god, do I get a limited breath weapon? That'd be fun.
I feel like it's more along the lines of prestidigitation strength flames.
Yeah, so she can like light a pipe or light a fire or slightly scorch your eyebrows off.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine that in the process of all of this, like Thyri and Jeanette doing their respective breastfeederings and all that kind of stuff have received like more than a few like sneezes from their children that have resulted in some singed hair and or fur. Like, ow, hot, hot, hot.
Adorable.
Yep.
True.
But Thyri is very snuggleable because she has chest floof, and everyone knows that chest floof is the primest snuggle place.
It is.
But I just have a lot of chest.
You just have chest. You have a marshmallow hell. Like, if you don't even need a papoose, your child can be just held up by your chest.
I actually literally used because I grabbed one of Lena's emergency commissions for Jeanette, right? And do you remember like weeks ago when Winter used that cowgirl and then said it reminds me of Jeanette during her Thickening? I literally used that as a reference for Jeanette. It's pretty great. I'll find it again.
Yeah, go for it. Because I must have missed that. I'm like looking at the fucking landing page and I can see Thuri's shiny beetle friend.
This is SFW. Technically, she's wearing like lingerie, so if you want to open it, fine.
Yeah, that seems about right for chest beefers.
And just because
an overall like exceptional broadity, yeah.
Jesus.
I mean, that's kind of how Jeanette is these days.
I took 7 of those femme potions.
Yeah, she is at like maximum thick capacity.
There's a reason why I had advantage to seduce the Minotaur.
So shall we make our way to the Aquatic City then, since that's our next stop, I think?
I thought we had 2 weeks of downtime after this.
You do, but at the same time, like, you've done it. You already went over the things you wanted to do in downtime.
I thought we just did the first 3 days.
No,
I mean, the
we
first 3
went
days
over it.
happened. That's when that event happened. But you all picked what you wanted to do for 2 weeks, so we don't have
Okay,
to go
then
over
just-
it. Yeah.
okay,
So
okay.
yeah,
Well-
3 days pass. That event
Well-
happens. It takes 2 days for everyone to get like back into town, but I'm counting it as 2 downtime actions because I don't want some of the party to be tortured by a week and a half, quote unquote. Everyone labeled the 2 downtime actions they wanted to do, I think, except for maybe Savin. Savin, you had 2 downtime actions. What the fuck are you doing?
That's right. I only took the 1 downtime action.
So did I. And also in my fucking defense, usually you have me roll for like additional properties for when I'm done with something.
I know, I was going to do it, but you're right.
Well-
You can also pick a second thing. We can roll afterwards if you were like, oh, would you like to do your properties right now?
I'm literally going to spend my second downtime action bonding with my new daughter and my mother-in-law.
Sure. You know what? I'll let you have advantage on your next charisma check as a result of hanging around with an adorable family for a while.
Oh.
Okay. Roll me 1d2.
When Viv gets back to Overland Keep, Anna is getting a great big hug.
Yaw.
All right. Give me a history check save, and it will give you we'll find out something. I'll give you something regardless, but it just depends on how good the quality is. No throwing extra dice at it. It's just an overall for the week. All right. As expected, there is very little to say of the aquatic city because some people didn't even really know it was a thing. Just that there are aquatic elves and they live there. Whether they hit a city or not would be in the contention. When you look specifically for information from it, it involves a little bit of travel to Watchland and asking everyone's favorite Borky grandma. You get to catch up with Titian, who's doing fine. He's chilling out at the pub and drinking.
Naughty boy.
Yeah, Aya's looking. She's looking. Everyone's favorite Borky grandma's looking pretty pleased with herself after a rip-roaring good time with your elfie slap man.
Thyri is totally just gonna drop the keys to her cabin off with Tish and be like, "Well, if you're staying here, you might as well have somewhere nice to sleep that doesn't cost you anything."
He'll accept that while you're doing the aquatic city thing. That he's not intending to stay at your home. He says that there are way too many statues, and your bunny keeps looking at him weirdly.
There are way too many sleuths to fuck.
It's true. Thyri's house is pretty fucking creepy. Actually, no, there's almost no statues out there. I took them
It's
all
true.
to
Yeah,
crossing.
it'll take a week or so for new goblins to move in and not be scared off because there are now no longer stone goblins. Like the last ones all left after they all started dying, but more will turn up eventually. But your
Excellent.
bunny does still look at him weird. Oh God, Anna, Constitution. Sorry, Viv, even Constitution save.
I'm so sorry. I'm just so excited to see you again.
You were ready
It's
for it
okay.
though. She arrived and you were prepared. Could it be the promised
Wow.
swole? You flex so hard, a bodybuilder
Viv.
turns to stone and shatters to pieces.
Ah.
No, Viv was ready. Constitution is her thing, especially sexual constitution of bodies pressed on bodies.
And then Anna gets a kiss.
You smoochies.
Aw.
But yeah, so what you do learn of the aquatic city is there is a special kind of mining that goes on around there. It's hard to say what that mining exactly is, but rumor has it that on very, very, very rare occasions, an aquatic elf will leave one of these like a lava plume areas and make a travel to the freelands before returning.
I see.
So if you look into it, you might be able to learn what it do or what it be, or if you just ask specifically about it, maybe who knows. You can also pick training dice for your daughter.
Sure. She will grab some training. Get strong.
Gets drunk. Iron like almost permanently has fucking training dice. Otherwise, I think that's about it. Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. Stray, give me 1d2, please. Alright, 1d2 again. And 1d100. Wow, that might be one of the most incredible pieces of equipment you've ever made.
Yay!
Although it is only +1 equipment, it came with a +2 grade enchantment because you managed to get within the last 7% of a 1d100. And it copied the snowy attributes of the lightning attributes of the floof.
Ooh.
It is in fact a cloak of thunderstep.
My god.
How appropriate.
Well, of course I rolled as well on a gift for Kalara.
Yeah, it is. It is a gift for Kalara, and it is a cloak of thunderstep that gives you evasion on what was fucking Marcus's thing, Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is a cloak of thunderstep that grants advantage on that grants evasion for Constitution saves. Where you would take half, you just take none.
Okay. I am going to with a lot of beaming smiles and just altogether pleased with myself, presented to Kalara.
It is the finest thing you have ever made, at least as far as dice variance is concerned, and Kalara is fucking delighted with it. Yeah. And she probably has only just like sat around the house, around the fort in like her underwear, but she will throw the cloak over herself and stand very proudly and look damned fine.
Yes.
Yeah. And then she will grin mischievously, run outside, and do a test use of it. It looks very cool and dramatic as she leaps from one spot and then lands down in another in a like crumble of thunder, and there's a crackling static around her. She will announce proudly, "I like this cloak. It is a very nice cloak. It is very fluffy too." Yep. And then you'll get smooch pounced. And the cloak is used as bedding in order to have a delightful encounter.
Yes, good.
Exactly as planned.
Kekakudori.
Kekakudori. Yeah. So,
I got what I wanted.
indeed. I can't believe you rolled like the best fucking thing you just made as far as dice are concerned, and was like, and it's a gift. No one gets to use this incredible fucking cloak. And you went to an NPC.
Hey.
I'm so pleased.
Hey, if anything, if the DM tries to do anything to her in the background, she now has a great magic item. It's
true.
pretty great. She won't just have her battle lingerie.
You say that, but Battle Lingerie is pretty alright.
Yeah, but not just that. She now has a cloak over her battle lingerie that allows her to thunderstep.
Fair enough.
When she pops out, titties bouncing and with the exertion, there's now like thunder and lightning accompanied with it. It's pretty great.
Hooray. There's just like a static crackle every time she bounces.
Yes.
A massage? Massage?
I do
That
love a
too.
good massage. I do love a good massage.
I like
Mm.
my sausages. And yeah, Cynthia, what kind of thing are you brewing?
I think I'll make the first smash beer that I'll ever make, and it'll be a gift to Astra, saying, I know how to brew things now.
You
She will be-
know how to brew beer?
Yep.
I know how to brew beer.
That's
She will
cool.
tail-waggingly accept. Admittedly, like, you probably learned this some point during the first week, but it's, it's taking some time for it to actually finish brewing, because brewing takes time, I'm afraid. It's not... Use some kind of magical time keg in order to make an actually quick process.
It takes 2 weeks to brew beer.
Indeed, and she's only been learning how to make it for 2 weeks, so she can't
No,
have possibly
I
finished one yet.
actually have proficiency because I started 1 week like way back.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it takes a month for mead to finish.
Yeah.
I know because I've done both.
Yeah, I would like to make both, but I have not done so yet myself.
You know how I actually learned how to make mead?
Internet.
Yeah, an internet video, YouTube video by the lead singer of Amon Amarth.
Oh, you pronounce it like that? I always heard it as Amon Amath.
I've only heard Amon Amarth.
Yeah.
Fair enough. It might even be that. I don't know. But yeah,
I don't
fucking
know.
dope. They're great.
I'm
They're adorable
going-
nerds.
Yeah, and the lead singer, like his hobby is brewing mead, so we used his recipe. It was pretty great. I mean, the
Nice.
first batch turned out to be poison, but the second batch was really good.
That's the thing. It's really easy to make poison by mistake.
Yeah, well,
First batch was poison, so it doesn't
we
really
were
matter.
supposed to
vinegar scrub
store it
everything.
in a cool. No, we made everything right, but we were supposed to store it in a cool, dry place. So, like a retard, we stored it in Joe's closet. But then I forgot that Joe, like, you think 86 is like 30 degrees or 86 degrees Fahrenheit is bad. He likes his room at about 90 at all times.
Ugh.
Yeah, he loves the heat, and so yeah, it spoiled.
Oh yeah, no, that would have spoiled the
Ugh.
Maxim hard.
It was it was bad. So the second time we did it in my room because I always leave the windows open. It's it's nice and cold.
Yeah, no. Oh. Yeah, there's only 2 ways to turn alcohol to poison, and one is to not clean your stuff correctly with everything and clean it possessively and clean it 3 times before you try and brew something. Or yeah, just, let it curdle into poison by just not storing it right. Was it viscous as well when it was done?
Oh my god, no! We poured it out, and Joe nearly like puked all over the garage because we opened it in the garage. So because we noticed like weird chunky things at the top. Oh my god, I don't really vomit that easy, but it was close, man. It was. Ugh.
Ugh.
Not good.
The second time we tried it, though, it was delicious.
Like, actually, brew meat is real cool. I want to brew some stuff, but time, space, and effort. Like, I don't have the combination of all of those. Yeah, okay. So, Aquatic City. I take it the, full party is moving as a full party again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you make any preparations, or are you just heading straight on to make your meeting time?
Let's see.
I've made all
Well,
my
is
preparation.
Kalara gonna stay here, or is she
I don't
gonna
want.
go
I
back?
don't want to add lots of NPCs.
No,
and stuff.
no.
Oh no, do you mean to the area? She'll hang around for a little while longer to take care of the kid until you're back, but then she'll be heading back for the freelance. She can't just leave her shop in people's hands at random.
Well,
forever.
no, I was gonna ask her if
That's
she
a
wants
pretty
to.
background.
I was gonna ask her if she wants to take LOA home with her.
I think so. Yes, she doesn't really want you to go adventuring with your daughter.
Yeah, and I already did that once, so it'd probably be better if at least one of my children had a stable home life.
Yep.
So-
They will learn skills, although she'll quickly find your child is more inclined to excising their incredible child grip.
This
But yeah, I
awful
thought
thing.
I would treat you to this view. So, you arrive at the edge of the water, basically. There is an aquatic elf with, the typical pale elfin features, although their body has an aquamarine tinge. The once they are submerged in water seems to be this far deeper, teal to heavy navy blues. But, on land, they could almost be mistaken for your everyday average elf, if not for the gills. They seem a little bit cold, but they're waiting there patiently. And when you arrive, they smile. They grow on each of you. These are little chunks of seaweed. They look like little cubes. I believe they might have actually already given you those before, but I don't know if you used
They've
them
got
up.
one.
Yeah, they've got one. Oh yeah, she
I
did when
get-
she went down for some smash. But she'll give everyone a fresh cube.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, you're able to breathe in water. It's a very uncomfortable sensation, at least at first, to get used to, because you're inhaling something that is thick and liquid.
I will ask if they speak any languages that, like, at least more than one of us does, because I think the only one who speaks Elven is Anna.
They speak common, so it's okay.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Okay, so
Or,
because
I mean,
some of
most
the
of
ones
them,
we met, yeah.
a bunch, most of them speak common.
Well, because pretty much all the ones we met didn't.
You're right. They were a banding party, but anyone who is a city slicker, such as it were, speaks common because they live for a really long time. They might as well invest some of their endless time in a language proficiency, which is cheap and free, or even free to learn.
Okay, so Viv can also speak because she speaks Aquan.
Yep.
So if we okay, cool.
And yeah. But yeah, it's not your Bulgriff that joins you, but in fact Ariana, who is feeling like she has been, left out of doing some of these strategic and social event things.
She's gonna break into diplomacy with the in Atlantis. Good job, kid.
She's already been doing it. She just handled a lot of boring day-to-day shit. She just gets to have fun more than anything.
Thyri is very excited to take her niece adventuring with her.
Yep.
Even if it is just adventuring to a little city nearby.
A little
You say
city
little,
underwater.
but
Yeah.
It looks amazing.
It is. It is so pretty.
Yeah, it takes maybe like 20, 30 minutes of like walking through like increasingly deep water before there is a drop-off. And as you go, the water gets like a little bit warmer. Like it's cold at the borders of the water where it meets into like little lakes and rivers and feeds into cities and towns, but eventually it gets, warm and nice.
Ooh.
Until it is really quite pleasant to be walking through. There are a lot of drenched puppers, admittedly, quite quickly. And hey, Kina, I'm getting like a weird echo of my voice occasionally through your microphone.
Huh.
It's not a loud one, but it's enough to distract me when I keep occasionally hearing the end of my syllables. But yeah, and as she escorts you down, I take it that you're all confident enough at swimming.
You mean dog paddling? But
Yeah,
Of
exactly.
course.
We have expertise in dog paddling.
This is true. Although you don't have to swim particularly hard. It's more like falling slowly forwards. Like, you just dip your weight down and intend to sink, because you're able to breathe this water. You don't, like, float straight up to the top, even if you've got big old boobages.
Mm-hmm.
Viv is going to need to hold hands with someone, because she can't swim at all. For shit. Even a little bit.
So they're not big enough to make me float yet.
I mean, they would be if your, lungs were full of air instead of water.
Viv is the noodle arm.
But you are essentially, balancing out the weight of your body. And you are wearing gear. Presumably you aren't doing this all completely naked.
I mean, I'm wearing my typical gear of
Yeah, but you also have weapons. Shit like that. You're wearing some metal on your person in some ways, and you have a backpack full of bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
Anna is a fucking amazing swimmer. I don't think she's ever swum before because the opportunity to swim otherwise would have been in like the super deadly ice oceans of the Greater North, the Black Isles.
She swims like an octopus.
Yeah, no one swims there unless they want to die. But yeah, she has all the tentacles and will octopus swim.
Which means it's not hard for Viv to hold her hand.
Also true, yeah. Anna can keep Viv moving easily enough by loaning her a tentacle or two. But yeah, eventually this casual descent into the depths soon has the water growing dark. The majority of you have dark vision, but even those without it, the period by which it is hard to see it's a short enough period. The aquatic life also seems to grow more numerous. It would seem that a lot of these fish prefer the water being deep and warm as opposed to the surface fish where it is cold, and they tend to be quite small in size. And you see curious creatures you've probably never really seen before because they don't go up.
Everybody's just like wide-eyed staring at
I
everything.
want-
Yeah,
We're
I
fucking
want to
tourists.
you are having the ultimate tourist experience of not having to worry about breathing underwater as you very gradually drift downwards into this oceanic wonderland.
Can I grab
And
one?
then
I want to grab one of the fish. I want to grab a fish on the way down.
Sure, give me a dexterity check. You can have advantage. You're an octopus. No, fish are smart and quick, and don't just roam right next to you guys. You'll need some kind of netting for that.
Get you next time, fish. I'm gonna eat you.
The fish will fish at you and continue on its merry fish way.
Smell delicious fish.
Nom nom nom, delicious. And yeah, for those who are like, struggling with it being a little bit dark, eventually that seems to resolve itself, and you can see that there are these like crystalline and fungal pods all over the place that seem to be bringing this like warm green yellow illumination to all things. And very pointedly, the very first thing you see as you like land down on a platform of stone is this tree right here. So you can all see it there. It appears to be a perfect structure of crystal clear glass lit from within with bright white and blue light. Like, it looks like the perfect tree, but it is made entirely of glass.
Wow. Anna, you should make
Pretty.
something like that.
I should.
Admittedly, your voice is coming out very burbly. You don't have the ability to speak underwater, but you're insisted to by the aquatic elf whose common you can understand perfectly as though they weren't underwater with you. That there are places where there is air, where you can, speak and do actual talky things. Otherwise, you would be most inconvenienced by this place.
Yes, let's go there.
But yeah, she will guide you past, and she'll give you the tourist explanation of everything that you see as you go through here. She will speak of this tree as the last artifact of their predecessors, the High Elves, before they all started disappearing and dying out. They came down to the waters to visit and left this as a final gift. They said that one day this tree would scatter seeds out to the greater waters and fill the whole ocean with light. Well, that hasn't happened yet. It'll be really nice if it does. Of course, it will need carrying to the ocean. She will admit that, this place, although the water goes underneath the land, most of it doesn't connect to the ocean. There are only very few flumes that do. And she will point in the direction of the land where you all came from, and even for those with dark vision, eventually the light just stops providing anything for you, and you can see there's probably a roof to the water there that is effectively going under the land.
Huh.
Wow.
The land isn't floating, but it's probably got a cavernous system of water beneath it. So yeah, there are underwater caves in the aquatic land.
I wonder if
Likewise,
there's one
she will-
going under Overland Keep. That'd be an interesting way to get a highway going.
You can't really ask. Then maybe.
I mean, I could ask once we get to somewhere with fucking air.
Yeah, she's still giving you the tour right now,
Yeah,
of
yeah.
course. So yeah, she introduces her fancy tree.
It is very fancy.
Yeah, and as you go by, she'll indicate that there is a place that looks very much like a tavern. And there are what appears to be bronze chimes, although they aren't rusting and greening by this, water they're all buried in. These little chimes that you can see. And she will pause and walk towards one of them. And bink, flick her finger on it, and there's this beautiful bright noise that seems to reverberate around. And someone will step out from at the front of their shop. They'll look over your group with a mixture of absolute fascination and admittedly a bit of trepidation because you're utter alien strangers to them. But they will then bow politely. They have a brief back and forth in Aquin. In Elven. Anna, you understand it. Isn't it? She's awesome. You understand it just fine, Anna, and she is asking if supplies of visitors could be brought to the grand open hall. At which point she'll say, yeah, she'll send a runner over. Well, they look the same to me. No, it's just color. Or
Oh
see-through
no,
of lead.
there's it is to the
Oh, yeah,
collar
the collar.
there.
Yeah. Alright, I'll sort that out later. I'm just kind of lazy.
Yeah.
I say that, but maybe I'll do it. Actually, could I have a version with the background on it as opposed to a see-through one? That can be kind of weird in places.
I have no idea how to do that.
Submit the whole file. I'll do it.
Okay. Yep. I believe it's in token archives, but I'll resend it.
Yep. Send me the actual picture file, and I'll token it with a background included.
Ah, yes. Okay. Hang on. Just keep going.
Yep. But yeah, that's what they say. So Anna, you understand that for the most part.
Sounds like they're gonna have a party.
Yep. Or at least they're gonna make preparations for you.
It's the party for us.
It would be, yeah. But yeah, they'll continue to carry you forward. There are more things that look to be like shop stalls or like inns and taverns. There are different degrees of fishiness to a variety of these elves, at which point you'll indicate that some of them are from different civilizations and towns like all over the land. Like there are water channels that will get you everywhere, even if some of them can be quite roundabout journeys.
Is this where all the water from Tower drains to? The basin never fills.
Hard to say. Who knows? For all you know, it is filling, but it's also invisible dry water.
That makes more sense, actually.
Yeah.
Invisible dry water?
Yeah, you'll never know.
I'd never even considered that.
No one ever had.
Fucking horrifying.
They're all drying on invisible dry water, you guys. They're all drowning. It's bad times.
Civilian rich. High civilian rich.
Yep, there are some civilians that are a little bit better dressed than others. She'll indicate that there's like a mother of pearl gate that leads to what appears to be a gated community. She will announce that's where the majority of their nobles live. But it is through that gate that she will take you all in order to get you to what appears to be like a large... Imagine if you were looking at a house, except it had nothing but windows making up its walls. There's still like the frames for windows going around, but you can see into this building from one side of it. And you can see that there are a couple of elves, you know, floating from part to part, like cleaning things and making sure that surfaces and furniture are in place. And they are hopping gently as though gravity were low in there, but you don't actually see water inside. As she escorts you to this building, she will open up the door and offer you inside.
Interesting. Also, I can't read Thyri's name for some reason. I can read everyone else's, but not Thyri's.
I wonder if
nameplate's
Token
not
Fury
on.
hasn't had... There you go.
Nor is her health bar, looks like. Unless it's just not sad.
Nope, it's just a permissions thing.
Yep, didn't have those turned on. Do that in the landing
Also,
page
yeah,
as well.
I feel like we're going to a people aquarium.
But that's honestly a really good way to describe it.
Thanks, chat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A people aquarium.
let's go inside and see what's up.
We're gonna end up in the people are the same everywhere episode of the Twilight Zone.
I love the lady riding on the dolphin.
Yeah, there is indeed also a dolphin riding. In fact, there are a number of people who like just ride around on very large animals that pose as their horses. Some are trailing what appear to be like floating caravans or wagons full of goods.
Dolphins are quite rapey and horny.
It's true, but they also speak Aquan, these beasts. So they've probably been told, no, bad dolphin, no raping.
No rapey, no raping.
Yeah, exactly.
They've been domesticated.
Yeah, they've been domesticated dolphins. And at the very least, they're better than domesticated honey badgers, which still are like envious machines of death murder. These are not swimming envious machines of rape.
Domesticating honey badger. You can't domesticate one of them.
No, it turns out in 70 the dwarves are actually the domesticated ones because they feed and bathe the honey badgers all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep them sated, and then maybe you can focus their death rage on people that aren't you. It's all about target acquisition.
It's the reddest soul
Entirely
gem you've ever seen.
The angriest soul gem.
Yeah.
Oh,
But yeah,
man.
when she escorts you into the door, you do so swimming through water, and then there is a membrane, somewhat like a bubble. And she'll go, she'll speak before you like walk into it. By the way, you should probably exhale out fully so you don't, choke when you swap from water to air.
Fair enough.
Good idea.
And she will indeed show you. You could see like her gills flutter. She goes,
Question: when I speak Aquan, is it clear or is it?
I mean, although you speak and understand Aquin, you do not have the faculties necessary to do so underwater without it sounding bubbly. Although it's probably more audible to them than trying to speak Elven or Common to them underwater. Like Aquin itself is a watery sounding language, but you still have to do that with like lungs and tongue.
Technically speaking, I'm speaking primordial.
Yes, it's true, but like I feel like as far as primordial as a language is concerned, I think of all the elemental portions of the language as different accents.
Right. It is
So you're like you're more
dialect.
like a multilingual of the primordial language.
Right.
Yeah, like you're speaking basically English while Aquan could be like Cockney or something like that.
Let's not.
Yeah, they're all speaking fucking Cockney rhyming slang, mate. Up the apples and pears.
I was thinking more like Australian for Aquan.
All right, cunts.
Mm-hmm.
How's fucking Barney? But and she will evidence this exhalation before stepping inside, and she like clears her throat a little once she stepped through the membrane, but otherwise seems fine.
All right, I'll do the
Alright,
same.
yeah. Doing the same as well.
And assuming you all exhale properly before you step through, you seem fine. You're all dripping wet for obvious reasons.
I didn't know the Jarl was here. What?
Little did
we
you
already
know,
knew that
I'm
about
always
him.
wet.
It smells
now?
like such wet dog right now. Oh my god.
Oh man.
I mean, the smell of wet dog doesn't actually crop up until they start drying.
Thyri
Viv is
prestidigitates
used to that,
everybody
yes.
clean.
Yeah.
So does Viv.
She'll look appreciative as you do so for drying everyone. She will request though that you don't dry her. She likes being moist.
Yes, that's fine.
Moist.
Such a useful spell that is.
Isn't it?
It
though?
is. How very quaint. But please come inside. And yeah, you can hear her voice properly, and she's speaking, in clear, audible common that rings in your ears normally.
Ah.
It's a soft, semi-lyrical voice.
I want to go swimming with Wiggles later. It'll be fun.
Please, you're always invited to do so. Here. And she will indicate in, like, you're basically looking down this, like, totally see-through foyer, I suppose is the best way to put it, but there is this, like, china, like, made basin, and resting in a pool of water is a number of these seaweed cubes.
I'm gonna take some. I'm gonna take 2.
Oh no, please leave them in the jar for later. They lose their efficacy if they dry out.
Oh, okay. I'll put them back. Very careful.
Yep. And she will look over you. And yes, please, welcome to the Center of Visitors. We don't have any traders in at the moment, and the rare occasions we do so tends to be of the Warforged, and they are less concerned.
Why didn't I turn into a shark when I was underwater? Aw. I missed my chance. Now I'm very sad.
Expected to.
Saoirse
This
is a
is
druid.
Saoirse.
Oh right.
Yeah, Saoirse can.
Saoirse.
She's a druid. She could indeed turn into Shirk. Dun.
Oh well.
Dun. And then all the dolphins flirt with her.
Oh god.
She can in fact turn into a dolphin. Oh well, I guess I'll do it on the way out. That'll be cool. It's hard to flutter through water with your wings. They're so sore now.
She will smile faintly. I apologize that it is such an inconvenient matter, but the queen of our people is, by this point of her age, unable to leave this area, this city, for too long. Being dried out is very disagreeable for her.
Are there any of my sisters here? Are there any water fae?
A number of the water beings here are spirits and fae as opposed to elven. Indeed, our queen and a princess of fae, although one of them is elven.
Yes! There are so few fae on the surface world.
Are they really now? We've heard to the
Well-
lands further to the south, the deeper lands where water is less prevalent. There are a great many fae.
Well, there's dryads and stuff like that, but I haven't really seen a lot of my pixie sisters. Or just other spirits other than, the one water spirit. That's about it.
Aren't all
There
your,
are a number of water spirits here.
What?
aren't all like your pixie sisters like in the woods there, like the Boule Riders or whatever they're called?
We haven't gone there yet.
Yeah, but we've heard about them.
Yeah, but I haven't been able to see them, which makes me sad. It puts a frowny face right here, and she just taps above her heart.
Oh,
Oh.
the elf is touched by the gesture and the statement, as Saoirse herself has the incredibly or freakingly attractive feature to her mutations. She is immediately endowed with joy and love for you.
Just like
That
everybody else's.
is the best combination of mutations. She got supernaturally attractive and completely hairless.
Yep. She's a smooth, sexy thing. Yeah. God, it makes me sad right in my duodenum. Yeah, no, the dolphins have been domesticated.
Slap the boners right out of them.
Yep.
Knock that shit off.
Yeah, you cut that out. It's a rape-free city. It's like a big sign. Aquin City, rape-free.
Rape free since '93.
Yep.
I mean, honestly, that's a pretty good.
That's something to be proud of right there. That's a really good number. 93, if 93 was yesterday, that's still a strong figure as far as a lot of the world is concerned, sadly.
Now I'm sad.
I made myself sad.
I played myself, guys.
And
All right, sorry for that.
I shouldn't do that. Take that bottle cap.
Clink, clink, clink.
I crushed it and put it
Dude.
in the bottle.
Playing with bottle caps is like literally the best thing.
Except for when they cut your fingers up. Luckily, I have not done so this time. Hooray for me. Yeah. Is there anything that you would like to ask of her now that you can do or speak?
I got a thing I feel like I need to ask.
Sure.
So, we've seen more than just aquatic elves, right? They've mentioned that there were, like, fae and shit around here.
Correct.
Alright. Then Thyri will ask, so,
They have rare sharks.
I have to wonder, with all these different people around here, have there ever been aquatic tieflings?
Aquatic breeds of tiefling. Not in particular. It used to be, for a short period of time, there were a number of tiefling refugees. They lived in homes like these, however, as servants to nobles.
Ah. But the way you speak says that that's not the case anymore?
No, they had been stockpiling the means to interact with the more, I suppose, water-based world and wanted to try and institute a city of their own. However, the means by which to do so were acquired through less legal means. Their request met with an unfortunate situation, and although I do not know the full details, I believe that they were slaughtered to a man.
Oh,
Seems a bit harsh for it, but
Oh,
sure, there's
no.
probably more reasons to it.
Oh no, Tifos.
well, sorry I asked. Hopefully, the tiefling presence here in town now won't meet with such an unfortunate series of events.
Yeah, there were Tiefs. They didn't turn out well for them. Have you any other questions? I'll try to answer whatever I can. No?
Um, how long has this city existed? Were you around? Was the city around when the High Elves disappeared?
This city was around while the High Elves themselves were still active, although our knowledge of the above grounds histories are messy at best. None of the aquatic elves, or even the Fae around today, have memories of such times, merely legends and stories, and songs.
Hmm. Tower was around back then, but he had only like just arrived when the High Elves disappeared. So I have
don't know who
no.
this tower is, I'm afraid.
It's my house. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Thyri will like shake
He
her head in the
says-
background, like. "Mm."
So will Viv.
So yeah, a lot of history of the surface world has been lost. So we have no idea where like all the great civilizations went. As you know, written history only started like 150 years ago. Trying to piece together what happened.
Indeed, if your city has any archives or something of that nature, I don't imagine books survive well down here, but something that fills that purpose, it would be a great pleasure to look through them.
Yes, please. If you have any oral history, I would much like to hear it.
Well, I mean, there are historians and specialists who might be able to tell you. I'm mostly here to just help out.
Of course, we're just wondering if such things existed.
I can get you in touch with people who would be able to answer these questions more succinctly.
Yes, please, that would be quite lovely.
Then I will endeavor to do so. And she will smile softly. For now, though, we can have food brought to you and other needs as necessary met. Do not worry, places of personal requirement, such as the bedrooms and bathrooms, are not visible to the open. And she will indicate, like, the majority of this house is see-through, but there are indeed, like, marble rooms, effectively, where you can see they have shut doors and no visible entry into them. Although some of them have their doors, like, resting open, and you can see that they are dimly lit from within by, like, lichens.
Marble, this is really nice. I could carve something really nice out of marble.
So, one more question. How long do those cubes that let us breathe underwater last?
It varies from the size of person, but for all of you, I would estimate probably 4 to 5 hours.
All right. Good to know. Good to know for the future.
Gets beamed out of you into another dimension.
Yeah. No,
So, who's our tour guide?
they have basins for the comfortable evacuation of one's materials, but prestidigitation cleans out the bowls because aquatic elves have a reasonably high number of magical people and they realized very early on in their existence that they didn't like to shit where they breathe.
So who's our we just have a tour guide with us? Someone who's showing us everything?
You have a tour guide right now, yeah. Sorry. What was the question?
Can she give something to the queen or the princess?
Yes, of course. I'd be happy to pass on messages.
I'm gonna pull out from my growing bag of craftings. I'm gonna pull out wait, no, wait. Serious, that one. Delete that. I'm gonna give a dragon goose.
Okay, yes, you will observe this curious crafting.
Huh.
This is very interesting. Is this a work of your own or from a popular artist above?
It's mine. I made it.
Well, you're very talented. I would be happy to pass this along. Do you have a message to go with it, or is it just simply a gift?
It's a gift. I just want people to like it, to have things I like.
Very well, then. I'd be happy to pass it along.
I feel like as a noble, Thyri probably should have brought a gift, but like
Is that one of the dragons that looks like a goose, or one of the geese that looks like a dragon?
It's a dragon goose.
Oh.
I don't know why Thyri wanted me to make a dragon goose, but I made it. She wasn't.
Okay, that answers my questions.
It wasn't right though.
It turned out real nice.
Yeah, I feel like the Jarl probably gave Thyri something to pass on to the queen as well, so if that's the case, she will do so.
More just messages and words to say. Their extension of peace. It suspects that they've never really known a legitimate threat, but should one ever extend itself, that the lands above would be there for them. And that you don't impress upon them to respond in kind because, they've never had to be a part of a conflict. They should never expect to be pulled into one just for the simple fact of being friends with someone.
Yes.
He doesn't have anything object-wise to really particularly give as a gift. He kind of had faith in your party to handle being good negotiatory people, and Anna seems to have kicked that off pretty reasonably.
Alright, then let's see if I can conjure up something like a nice bottle of wine. Or more like mead from the Jarl's house or something.
Yeah, here's a question. Have you tried... What do you think happens if the Adamant Fortresses are unleashed down here?
Nothing good.
I mean, it fucks up basically all your furniture, but none of the Warforged need to breathe. And also, it's hard to say what would happen to the walls of fire.
They turn into walls of steam.
I think just the sheer quantity of water would overwhelm the firewalls and snuff them out.
Oh no.
You need to restart their pilot light.
Alright, let's just say Thyri brought a very nice bottle of mead from the Jarl's stocks.
Sure, shoot again. Yeah, if anyone else has anything, she'll happily carry it along.
What's that? A bottle of Ella's emboldening mead that I brought along because I finished? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, alright, she'll accept that too. I assume that you're going to give her the associate warning of, by the way, it's really strong.
By the way, super strong.
She will seem amused and pleased. I would be happy to pass this along. We tend to have to be quite careful with alcoholic beverages, of course, because if they were to be separated too far from the bottle, we would pose the risk of inhaling them and getting rather very drunk quite immediately.
Really? I would assume that with all the water it would become quite distilled.
The weight of alcohol is different to that of water, and the odds of breathing in this quite heavy alcohol-infused water would make us very drunk. Very quickly. I know not the science behind it, but it is an experience that has been had before. A lot of young people who come of age like to try and open a keg upside down, stick their heads inside it, and inhale.
It's useful information for later. When it's time to inevitably declare war on this place, we just dump a bunch of boozaholes in the water. Get all
Yeah,
the
just
fairies
get them all
super
too-
fucking drunk.
So too drunk for combat.
Yep.
Help, the water is delicious and we're all fucking hammered. I mean, that's more like chemical warfare, though.
Yeah,
Kind of fucked up
that-
when you think about it. 1 second while we turn the air into poison. That's what you're doing to them.
You mean turn the air into fun sauce?
You mean turn the air into actual poison because that's what alcohol is.
Well, yeah, I mean, technically.
And they would all, if you did it in a copious enough amount, probably all get terrible alcohol poisoning because they're injecting it directly into the bloodstream via the method of breathing it.
So yeah, we'll remember this for later.
Yep. Yeah. your
So
chemical
it's
warfare
less that they
plans.
drink it when more like they smoke it.
I guess
Almost.
that's a way to put it. Yeah, they're just fucking directly
huff.
introducing.
They huff the mead.
Yeah. I mean, they do like to drink it. They have to just be careful when they drink alcohols in case they end up breathing it in.
They need one-way shit. They just need those bottles with the one-way lid, like stoppers on them.
Yeah, Jeanette,
So
you
you
need
have
to
to- you
invent
have
the
to
Does
straw.
does a sippy cup work underwater? I
No, no,
don't
no.
think it technically does because of pressure. You can't
That would
because
that
a
would just-
sippy cup is emptied by air going back into it.
Yeah,
after
but you would
finish
just
drinking.
dilute the.
You would just be
end up
making the
diluting
drink
it.
less good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first few gulps of alcohol is great for an aquatic elf, but anything after that can be a bit of a trouble unless they go through the effort of drinking in an air dome like you're currently
So what
in.
you're saying is they need those little fancy little bottles. Those like
Yeah,
one
like an
shot
airport
bottles.
bottles,
Those
yeah.
Yeah, those. You
Airport
need a
bottles
bunch of
those.
those.
It's perfect for them.
Yeah.
Shots are like the drinking culture of the aquatic elves. Mostly
Jello
convenience thing, but you know.
shots.
Yeah, no, there you go. Jello shots, the easiest way to imbibe liquor underwater. Really, really eat that first. Yeah. Otherwise, she will, invite you to try and experience town. She'll let the queen and princesses and stuff know that you've arrived, and so they can make preparations to receive you in a place that likewise facilitates speech. But there are taverns and places and shops and all sorts.
Scout, you've said the magic word. You know where we're gonna go first.
Yeah. I don't know, actually. I could see you guys being equally interested in going to taverns or markets.
What was the third option?
Did I even give a third option?
Yeah, you said something after taverns. I didn't quite catch what it was.
Taverns, shopping, just people and sights to see, I suppose.
Alright, well, shopping!
Yeah,
Sure.
you know it.
Oh man, you know what?
I got
This
no money
place would
right
probably be a prime target for selling great beast parts because they have no access to surfacer beasts.
It's true, but they also have no access to forges.
Why not?
They can use like the heat from the lava plumes.
That's true. I suppose they could try and forge things in lava, but it's not exactly what one would consider an exact science.
I mean, they could
aquatic...
just use one of these, people aquariums to forge things in and have the smoke cleared out somehow.
Yeah, I was going to say, they could do that, but they would be able to run their forge for all of, an hour or so before poisoning everyone inside. Just terrible carbon monoxide poisoning.
I mean, they could just have another person in, or some of their magic people in there just doing prestidigitation, cleaning the air while they're doing it.
I mean, you can clean the air all you want, but you can't put fresh oxygen into it. You're just burning oxygen away. You don't create air.
I guess that's
Just
true.
make it clean.
And wait,
Instead,
how
all
does
you
air
would
get
do
into
is-
this place in the first place?
Yeah, that's a good point.
It is supplied by fauna and fauna. The traditional way of there are plants
Okay,
and
so
seaweeds
the
and
little
stuff. and
house we're in has a shitload of plants living in it, basically.
Yeah, you've got really healthy vine plants and all sorts of stuff. But I
Okay.
mean, they can only replace so much air at once, and running a forge in here would very quickly turn the atmosphere into poison.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, no, their main like weapon culture and like equipment culture appears to be like coral and shell, and some of it looks incredibly sharp.
Well, then they should know what to do with bones and shit.
It is true, but they can't really do metal forging with great beast parts. It's not really an option that they have.
Ooh, while we're here, we should go hunt an aquatic great beast.
I don't think well, your magics would probably be fine underwater, but I would probably not be very much help to that.
So what you're
You
saying is
just
the
need to get you a
aquatic elves
crossbow.
are more
Water
their-
would not
their
work
form
very
of-
well with a crossbow either. I'm pretty certain if you try to fire off with it, it would not exactly really travel very well.
I mean, there are underwater, like, ranged weapons you can use. Ooh, we could get you a trident you can throw at people.
Crossbow would have a definite advantage over the larger conventional bow limbs due to having more mass and resistance. A compound bow style would probably have less drag underwater since the limbs bend only slightly. The bolt shot would have to be heavy as well since it needs enough kinetic energy to punch through the water instead of the air. Some equipment techniques can modify this, but the idea would have potential.
Yeah,
But it'd
see?
be like, yeah. It's
Underwater.
not
You'd need
exactly the
you'd need a
easiest.
crossbow or a compound bow. A longbow would be fucking worthless underwater.
Sometimes I wish Viv had higher
wait.
decks.
Thierry has a magic crossbow.
She does. Also, so does Jeanette, I believe. I can't keep track of
I
which
have
you
a
guys are in.
true burning crossbow.
Yeah, sets fire to things immune to fire.
Alright, well, if we do have to hunt a great beast down here, I may have to borrow that then.
Yeah, they're more monster hunter crafting than they are metal smithing.
Oh god, I wouldn't be able to do anything under here. I rely on thrown things. I'm gonna go, and it's gonna go like 2 feet away from me.
Yeah, welcome
yeah, you
to
can't
my
smash
world.
a single bottle. It's just worthless.
I'm just gonna be standing there going, and when you guys look behind you, you're gonna see like 3 just floating bottles just like swirling around Jeanette.
They're just momentum, they're spinning end over end, or like one dinks off a rock and cracks, and suddenly you're just swimming in acid. You're like, oh god, everything was the worst idea. This is what I'm breathing right
Jeanette's
now.
acid bombs would be a
I have
bad scene.
I have Mage Hand. Could I carry those bottles over and bring them up?
The worst thing down here would be
Should be
Thunderstone,
town.
though.
Yes.
Yeah, Thunderstone would be bad.
Oh,
Hi,
that'd be
Tasha.
horrible.
Thunderstone normally doesn't cause damage, but underwater, I'm fairly certain that this amount of concussive energy would cause damage.
I would probably just make it do things like sicken people or
Pop your
deafen them.
friggin' eardrums.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, although they usually don't, like, deafen people, I would say, yeah, save versus going deaf. Also, if you fail to save, you're sickened, because it's just going to pulse in your gut terribly, like the base of a terrible
I
concert.
am useless underwater.
All right.
No, what clearly what should happen is we all do lightning powers. It's fine. Everything will be great.
Yeah, no, I have that, and that's probably not a great idea to do underwater.
Yeah, your bow is also a lightning bow. That's pretty suicidal.
Call lightning!
That's a long way
guys
for
were-
lightning to travel.
You guys were tired of this party, right?
Yeah.
All right,
Kind
look,
of
it's not a
having friends
great
up.
idea, but it would be fun.
I'm certainly not tired of Viv yet, please.
Okay. Yeah, so would you like to try and go shopping?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know it.
Let's see here. If you would like to speak to traders, you're going to need some assistance. She hands each of you what appears to be a wooden stick in the shape of a quill pen.
What's this?
It is a speaking device with very, very limited telepathy. The range is contact to contact, and she will hold it out very pointedly towards you. She's holding one end of this pen. You can grab the other end.
Mm-hmm.
And then you hear her speak at you. Basically, these tools allow you to speak like this, directly to someone. Although the ends of this pen here, the receiving end is the only type to hear the speech back. As in, when you try and think in her direction, she doesn't appear to understand you. She flips the stick around and then holds the quill end of it and then can understand this telekinetic voice. So it's one-way communication. Not a massive issue for them because they can speak underwater.
Right.
But they can receive a conversation with you. Although, you're really going to be hard-pressed to have more than one person talking at someone at the same time.
I feel like Thyri should not be allowed to use the telepathy stick for obvious reasons.
I don't know what you're talking about.
She's a fucking schizo, and her
She
thoughts
only has to speak words at people. You do have to actually shape them.
I mean, it's still a mental thing. But yeah,
Oh,
alright, if
no,
no one
mine-
stops Thyri, she'll try.
Yeah.
If you really don't want to.
I mean, Thyri doesn't think she's insane, so obviously Theory's going to try to do it. I'm sure everything will be great, won't it, Tasha?
No, I'm just
Like,
thinking all the
unle-
fucking Alec Baldwin on shitter scenes from South Park. We just hear his internal monologues as though they were going straight to Twitter.
Like, unless you actually start being crazy with it, like projecting crazy amounts of talking and speech with it.
Well, yeah,
I
that's
think
what I
you'll
mean.
be
Like, I
fine.
don't know if Theory could stop herself from projecting crazy thoughts.
Well, we'll just have to find out, won't we?
Oh boy.
Yeah. I mean, we're only decently aware that the theory's crazy. We don't
No,
know,
nobody,
just-
nobody
I-
thinks that. She's the sanest
They have
person
already
here.
grabbed it.
All right, so yeah, let's go talking to people. This will be great.
Oh, yeah, okay. Would you like to test this stick on someone?
No, I'm sure it works.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah, let's just test it real quick. Here, I'll grab one and you do the other, and we'll actually see if it works between people. Just to make sure.
Who are you
Yeah.
asking to grab the other end?
I mean, I was assuming I was grabbing the receiving end of it, so that way
So that
can
you
just
could
try and
speak at
talk.
someone and maybe drive them insane.
Okay.
I
yeah.
volunteer.
Does Cynthia need to roll a wisdom save?
No, not really. You can. It seems that it doesn't really form like thoughts so much as you have to be cohesively thinking words, as though you were reading a book. You know, when you just hear an inner monologue when you read. You do have to cohesively think of words before they're produced. It's not just like playing Wi-Fi into people's brains.
Well, that's good. Okay.
Would you like to see what happens when Jeanette uses it or Anna uses it?
No.
I'm sure it's fine.
Jeanette uses what?
No, don't worry about it. Nothing. Don't worry about
What
it.
is? Hey, Kinathis.
Nope,
What is it?
Don't worry about it.
They
It's
have
a
a
stick
magic
that
stick.
allows you. It's a stick that allows you to telepathically beam words at people one direction. So they can
I'm
receive
sure
them.
this is fine.
They have a magic stick that lets you talk to people without opening your mouth.
Ooh.
Yeah, she'll hand out one for each of you.
Okay.
Hi,
This will
everyone.
be fine. It'll be
Yay.
fine.
How does it work? I'm gonna shake it. If I do this again, does it work?
Yeah, just hold that end of it, and then have whoever you'd like to speak to hold the quill end of it, and this one will reach out to grip the quill end of Anna's extended stick.
Oh no.
So Anna,
Yeah.
you are free to think words at this lady.
It's raining, man. Hallelujah. That? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just start singing.
She can hear like the waves.
I don't feel as though I don't. I don't actually. I really don't actually. I just think it's interesting. I don't have anything.
Yeah,
I'm not
she hears you. She hears you. You know, thinking, "Well, this is very interesting." I don't know what to say though. Hi, and she
Yeah.
will seem pleased enough that it is working for her. Likewise, Jeanette, although when you try it with her, she will tell you to try and slow down your thoughts to sentence structure as opposed to just think vomit.
Ah. Well,
It takes a few tries for you to just like cohesively build a sentence instead of try and think everything you want to think at once at her.
yeah. What you guys are thinking is going to happen is that she's going to have to make a check. Remember, it's only when someone reads my mind. they're not reading my mind. I'm projecting like sentences. And while it may all be crazy and like half of it is in another language that breaks into another language after that, it's not actually enough to make someone make a check. It's fine. But to Jeanette, I'm going to have to speak like exactly like that. It's going to be very annoying for her.
Or you could just say that you speak like that and just speak like normal person so we don't have to worry about it.
All right, I will project normal person thoughts at Cynthia like this.
Well, I meant like not out of character. I spent like you could just say that you're talking slow like that and just talk like normal so we don't have to go through the long thing like that.
Yeah, I stopped doing that on purpose for that. Because it would take forever. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I mean, perception-wise, you're slowing yourself down, but you're just making it possible for people to hear you as a normal speak when you're interacting with them. So to you, it's like a labor of words, but they are hearing it normal standard sentence-wise. All right, yeah, Wiggles will interact with the quill. Does anyone want to try and take a chance at interacting directly with Wiggles' speak thoughts, you guys?
I'll do it.
I was about to say, the safest person to do that would be Jeanette.
Nope, Viv immediately grips the end of the quill. Wiggles will look at you for a moment. Hi.
Hi. It's good to finally speak with you. Normally just hear squeaks.
I'm shy though.
I don't blame you.
And then she lets go of the speaking end of the quill, so you're just holding the receiving end, and there's nothing there.
Oh,
And she will squeak.
So did
fair enough.
Did
they actually
Wiggles talk to you?
Yes.
Wiggles, you can
She's-
talk?
She's
She will
shy.
squeak.
Wiggles says a lot of things.
Thierry will take her stick and hand the
talks
speaking
all the
end
time.
to Wiggles.
Wiggles will look up at Anna and then squeak again in a way that you, Anna, notice is kind of exasperated. But Wiggles will reach out with one little tentacular hand and grip at the
I'm
speaking
going-
end.
I'm going to pick Squiggles up and hold her.
Aw. Wiggles, I have one very important question for you. Do you
Okay.
know what happened to Anna to make her mind not work so well?
Give me a persuade test.
All right.
Does anyone have inspiration they'd like to put on it?
I'm putting inspiration on this.
Oh,
Bardic.
Thank you.
I assume.
Bardic and actual.
Okay.
Okay, this better not be a
The
fucking
usual.
lemon.
The usual super test.
come on, we can break 25.
No, we can't.
Yeah.
Still over 20.
Wiggles will wait for a moment. We can't be sure.
Who's we?
She lets go of the stick.
Yeah, she probably does let go of the stick at that point.
Oh, dang.
We've known you for months, and this is a... Oh, Wiggles, come on.
Wiggles is very shy. Is very shy.
I'm shy
She makes
too,
another.
I'm-
She makes another squeak and will reach out for the stick.
Thank you.
Oh, Squiggles, you're so brave. Wiggles, you're so brave.
Really appreciate it.
I
Give
know.
her head rubs. Give her a kiss on the head, on the tentacles.
Yeah. The tentacles will like idly wrap around Anna's face and pet her cheeks.
Alright. Okay, let's break it down into an easier question. When Squiggles got exploded, how did you get here?
I just happened. Like lots of people happen.
You mean Anna gave birth to you?
Anna's everyone's mummy. Of course.
Anna's your mother?
She'll like look up at Anna as though this were the craziest question she's ever heard.
Huh. I'm look down at Squiggles. At Wiggles. Hmm.
Anna?
Wait, what? This is so strange only hearing half this conversation. What?
Thierry will turn to the rest of the party and say,
You're not hearing any. I mean, we're not hearing anything.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I thought Theory was...
Yeah, it's a
I thought
one-way
it was
stick.
No,
on
no,
the
you don't
Theory.
Yeah, so
speak
Theory
at
has to
them.
talk out loud.
You don't speak with them. So
No.
what's happening here is you're getting the questions that that Theory is asking, and then there is nothing but silence and an unmoving facial expression from Wiggles, and then she's like, "What?"
Yeah, that's why we can't...
Like, look
yeah.
around at the party and say, Anna is Wiggles' mother.
Wait, what? But
What?
Makes sense.
What? But
Of course.
And do you have a father?
Maybe, but Anna is a girl.
Well, yes, I know Anna's a woman, but I mean, we've never seen her give birth before. I'm very confused. Are you
Mothers can't fathers.
are you Squiggle's daughter or child anyway?
No.
Then who? How? Oh my God.
I'm Wiggles, and always have been. And Squiggles must have been Squiggles, whoever they were.
Well, this like deadpan confusion.
I'm not gonna make it easy for you guys. Fuck.
Uh. Okay. Do you know if there's anything we can do to help Anna?
I look after Anna. She's fine.
Okay.
Anna looks after you all. She's great.
She is great. It's true. What does she look out for us against?
I don't understand. Everything? Stuff you can't see?
Like what?
You can't see it.
Well, yes, I know I can't see it, but could you describe it for me?
Can't describe something that can't be seen. That's impossible, and a very silly question.
Theory like mentally resists the urge to start proselytizing about Hagen. Like, well, you can't see the god of light, but
Yeah, indeed. And you wouldn't be able to describe him to her, would you?
yeah, I could describe a god to her.
You know, a big fluffy cloud.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just some being in a squiddy cloud that none can see.
yeah, exactly. It gives everybody magic powers and is loving and kind, like a magnificent father.
Isn't there like some sort of depiction of Hagen that we know of? I'm pretty sure there's like a depiction of all the divines or something like that.
Yeah, there are drawings of what they were all meant to look like, really.
Probably.
Apart from Tam. Tam is an effluviant mass of spirits.
Alright, well, Theory's a little disturbed at this point, so she's just gonna say, well, that's alright then. Thank you for your time, Wiggles. It was very nice getting to talk to you for once.
I always talk. You just can't understand.
Well, yeah, it's nice to have a conversation, I guess.
I don't like talking, though.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is there anything we could do to make it easier for you?
Nope.
Well, okay. I'll just take my stick back now, I guess.
That was Anna's stick.
Oh.
More like she'll tug it from you so that she can hand it back to Anna.
Okay, fair enough. Whatever.
I'll take this
I
stick.
will release Anna's stick and then look to the party and say, "What the fuck, guys?"
I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna give Wiggles a big hug.
Squeak.
Aww.
I don't know. I don't know.
You know, the first time any goof have ever tried to directly interact with Wiggles. Or any of the Eldritch sprites.
Well, we've never seen an Eldritch sprite before other than her. I guess.
Of course, yeah, she's been the only ever Eldritch sprite.
Exactly.
That's right. I should have made you make saves to be like, what Squiggles? And then you just be like, you're right, what Squiggles? Just to fuck with everybody.
That would have been pretty great, honestly, but... Whew, boy. Anna just makes me more and more confused as we go.
I like Anna.
I know.
Don't worry, we'll get some semblance of knowledge once we get onto Anna Quest.
That what we're calling it now?
Oh boy.
Yeah, Anna Quest.
Yeah, there is an Anna quest on the
Well,
the
I mean,
page.
are we calling that in character or just?
And I guess, what else do we call it? The reverse brain damage
Definite-
quest?
Definitely what I'm calling it, Anna Quest. We're gonna find out stuff about Anna, and Anna's gonna find out stuff about her, and I'm gonna find out stuff about Peaches. That bastard.
Peaches.
Damn you, Peaches. Yeah.
Why would you have anything
before we
against
all
Peaches?
call
He's
this...
a great horse.
Yeah, Peaches and Cream are great.
What?
Peaches and Cream, the horses.
Yeah, why would you have anything against Peaches? She's a great horse. Or is it he? He or she? I don't know.
Who knows?
The horrible horse-headed abomination?
No, just a horse.
Yeah,
the one that whispers in secrets in the deeps? That's the one I'm talking about. And I hate him so much.
Is
The
he the one?
jerk.
Is he the one who keeps sending the gnomes after you?
I have no idea.
No
If
idea.
so, he is covered in my left socks.
Which horses are Peaches and Cream?
They're
one of them,
Hammer
isn't
and Hammer.
Yeah. We got raisins and cherries.
Right. This is raisins and cherries. I'm sorry, I get the horses confused because
Yeah,
you keep
and
calling
then-
them those things.
And then there was grapes in what was it? That one little one-shot adventure we did in 70 with where I played a moo cow and I rolled really well.
Ah, yes,
Yeah.
yes. There was
Yeah,
indeed
my horse
grapes.
was named Grapes.
It made sense.
Keeping the fruit theme.
Always.
Yeah. Before we close off, I suppose I will introduce you to some of the stuff that is acquirable.
Sure.
Now, there is seaweed clothing.
Ooh.
Okay.
Seaweed clothing is silky soft and always moist. It'll keep you from getting sick in the heat, from pruning in the water, or from suffering any kind of chafing. However, when left at 0-degree temperatures for long periods of time, it will grow brittle and require very slowly and gently warming. There is coral equipment, primarily inclined towards sharp objects with the piercing type, so, you know, like daggers and spears and shit like that. They can be thrown as objects that ignore the resistance of water. They operate as thrown weapons without disadvantage and ignore mundane natural armor. So the DC of a lot of animals the AC of a lot of animals would be considerably lower against coral blades, although they would do
Like
shit
sunset.
fuck all against armor.
Sounds like it's time to pick up a bunch of coral daggers.
There are precious gems here. Lightweight gems are in high supply. This is the easiest place to source gems that are used commonly as magical reagents in magical items and spells.
Hmm.
They get gems for fucking days, and they all tend to be like light and clear and open and very good for that kind of thing. And because it was hinted at before and something you would then future ask about, the hot water channels fed by volcanic underground activity feature the admittedly dangerous mining veins for residium.
Oh, it's right on the money.
You were
Feels
indeed 100% correct. I'm gonna add them to the alchemical goods list. Below charged blood stuff. There is seaweed clothing, coral blades, precious gems, and residium.
So, do the coral blades, do they cost the same as normal weapons, or do
Yeah.
they cost more?
They don't deal in copper though. They only deal in silver and gold. Which is
That's
fine for you guys
fine.
who are adventurers, obviously.
I'm pretty sure none of the weapons even cost any copper anyway. They're like those things like a silver.
Yeah. Just saying it's not a currency that can be used around here. If I could be asked to do the maths, it would be that Electrum would be the most popular one underwater, I would have thought, but I can't be bothered. So we use their silver and gold equivalencies. Yeah, I believe at this point, now that you've had this little unveiling here and made it to the Aquatic City and spoken to the great and mighty and all-intelligent Wiggles, we're going to call this session to a close.
Yeah.
I am genuinely shocked that Wiggles talked to us. Like,
Wiggles is a sweetie.
fucking
She's a good
blown
girl.
away.
Yeah.
Wiggles is a good girl.
All of the Eldritch sprites are goodies.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
They're all very smart.
Mother, though.
What else would they call her?
Yeah, I know. Did you ask Mother how?
No, I was too fucking dazzled to do much of anything cogent. I barely was able to talk. Just too much WTF factor.
Yeah, and Wiggles is very shy.
Thyri now just assumes Anna gives birth to them.
Yes, Theory literally does just assume Anna gives birth to them. And to be quite honest, I don't think there's any proof so far that she doesn't.
I suppose not. I think.
Yeah, I mean, we
Yeah.
have no idea where these Eldritch sprites come from. We've never seen any other than just them hanging around with Anna. And then when one
Very
died,
true.
another one popped into existence when we couldn't see it.
Yeah. Regardless, thank you guys for playing. I hope that you enjoyed yourselves.
Always.
Yeah.
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 And if you're watching in the VOD or you're watching in the stream, I as usual hope that you all have yourselves a lovely motherfucking good time, and please do take care.